animal.
Can we use this for the radio?
No, Nick, with your drinking at noon on Mondays.
Well, I tell her the truth. I miss booty.
That problem is too large for the Starch.
You know how I feel about clowns on morning shows?
Yeah. I'm just saying, hello.
Touching and hiding.
Watch Daddy and Uncle Freddie.
Knocking back
25 glasses of soda.
Having some fun.
On 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
I miss booty. Contact me, please. Can you do that for me?
Oh, Cleese Johnson. Congratulations on being a prison rapist that has entered into our culture through the power of YouTube, where we are on right now.
It's sexy.
You can subscribe to us on subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube to watch us. We're in the Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You put the interview thing on my monitor. That means that during Felger and Maz, they're going to be able to see the interview thing. And that means there's going to be a running joke of me on a show that I'm not even on. I don't like that. I don't like that. Go fix it. Get it out of there. I don't want people to know I don't say interview. I say interview. I don't want that. It's too much. I'm a professional broadcaster. Please.
You'll be thinking about it all day.
Yeah.
After you leave here.
But the fact that it's yellow and laminated in my line of sight had nothing to do with me seeing it. Well, look. It is a tremendous day. I have, for the first time since I've been divorced, my ex-wife and 2 children are going out of town today. They're coming back on Friday. And the amount of freedom afforded to me, I've never... I didn't... Because, my kids could come over at any time. Mm-hmm. I'm fortunate enough to have that kind of relationship with their mother that and I bought a place right by where I used to live, like right by it, so they could even walk if they wanted to. My son drives now, but they and my daughter chooses not to walk on very often. But I have this tremendous amount of freedom. So I asked these guys that I play golf with, like a couple times a year, I said, "You guys want to play golf on Thursday?" And they got very defensive about the weather. They said that it's going to rain, da-da-da-da-da-da. So I said, so screw you.
Yeah.
So I made other plans. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, is that at 3:30 on Saturday, are you going to the BC football game, Wallach?
I am not.
Okay, at 3:30 on Saturday, there's a BC football game. And I got season tickets with 2 other guys. There's 6 tickets total. One of the guys moved to Montreal because all my friends move. That's just the way it is. My friends moved to Austin. My friends moved to Montreal. My friends moved to New York City. My friends move. Out of all the good friends I've had in Boston over the last 19 years, I'd say 80% of them have moved. Because you young families, and then they just get up and move. And so they all left. So so me and this other guy, now we're sitting on 4 tickets. The guy took the other tickets. So he's got 4, I've got 2. 6 tickets, there's 2 of us, we're sitting on 4 tickets. I've extended invitations to people to go to this BC game, and people haven't said no. People have said they're already going to the BC game. So this BC game, because haven't played at home. They've only played at home once this season. It's against Fordham. It's not really a game.
This is Cal, right?
This is Cal. It's a 3:30 game. I mean, the atmosphere is going to be electric. You have Cal and you have BC. It's going to be an electric environment.
1 and 2 coming off.
By the way,
double overtime line.
On SeatGeek, I've posted my Notre Dame tickets, so those are available for purchase. $380 a ticket is what they suggested, and that's what I did.
Okay.
So those are up if you would like to go to the Notre Dame game. They're very good seats.
I would. Yeah, those. I'm surprised. When did you post them?
Yesterday.
no, those won't last.
Yeah, Notre Dame. If Notre Dame fans travel well, you'll sell.
Well, they suck. That's the problem. Is that Notre Dame sucks and BC's not very good. So the whole thing is turning into a bit of a disaster.
I think though there's a handful of Notre Dame fans scattered around the country outside of the Notre Dame immediate area. So there might actually be Notre Dame fans living in Boston that would want those tickets.
No, because they're playing the Boston team.
Oh,
You don't get the dynamic.
Yeah,
BC is the team that they all root for. Did you see? That's why the environment's so electric.
Isn't that an interesting conversation when people who are not in Boston, your friends from around the country, say like, "So what school do people root for in Boston?" I say none. They don't.
No, pro sports. That's it.
Yeah, there's none of that.
Because I was here when Matt Ryan was playing quarterback for BC, and they were like ranked second or third in the country, and no one talked about him. Like you just didn't talk about it. But in a way, it's very fortunate for me because I can walk there. I've walked home from a game before. It's not that far a walk. It's probably a mile and a half. I've walked home from there, and like if it was a bigger deal, it would be like kind of a problem in my life, like a few weeks a year because of all the fanfare and everything that's going on. As you might not even know there was a game. Plus, for $1,000, I got 2 season tickets. I mean, that's not so bad. And I like going with my friends. So, like, it's like, and I don't really care what happens. I don't really care if they win or lose. So it's a very cash environment for me. So it's almost perfect. Now, I just wish I got to figure out, maybe even if someone emailed me, I got to figure out if there's something before the game that I'm missing. Because I have friends or acquaintances that have tailgates there, but they're very family-oriented tailgates. I don't want that.
Yeah, they have right next to the stadium. There are spots that are reserved in that big parking lot.
But that's.
Well, what's wrong with a family-oriented tailgate? You're not going to be drinking. Do you want to show up and have them like playing like porn on TVs in the back of a pickup? What's an adult-oriented tailgate going to do for you at this point?
Like a swinging situation, you know, like a swinging singles.
Is there a fishbowl on the back of the tailgate?
Well, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
I mean, they don't just advertise it. They don't put a fishbowl on the table that they're eating their chips off of. I mean, they do the thing. No, there's drinking at the family tailgates. That's the point of a tailgate is people are drinking. My drinking, I understand where you're coming from, but that's not my intention. What I need is that there are family tailgates that I'm aware of. There are student tailgates that I'm aware of because I told you when I first moved here, there was an intern at the station who invited someone at the station to the game. They took me, and they were seniors at BC. I was like 31 years old. And we went to the game. We were hanging out in those dorms that are for seniors. And the girls' parents came up to me and said they were big fans. And that's when I realized,
you've aged out.
Like this is because the girl was 22 and I was 31. I mean, that's not like an insane age difference.
No,
right?
I was here to hang with the kids.
Yeah, exactly. Because we were. I mean, that was right around the time of BCN, so there were like lots of young girls around, like young 20s girls around.
That absolutely tracks, though. I mean, when I got out of school, as I've said before, I did the thing that most successful college graduates do. And that's stay in your college town for 2 years after graduation.
Absolutely.
Working small jobs and living in a rented room of a rented house. But there were a couple of people. So at that point, I'm like 22, 23, 24 by the time I left East Lansing. There were a couple of 30-year-olds and 32-year-olds hanging around. They were the old people.
Yep.
I mean, they even as a person who would graduate, I'm like, no, I'm still with the kids. Anyone who's 30 or over, that might as well be my dad.
Right. And
nothing to do with me.
And like things at BCN were so wild that there wasn't, you felt like a kid. At least I felt like a kid. We had this limo guy that would drive us around that Rucker got. Like it was like a pretty wild time. And at BCN, there were girls all over the place. Now, I was married. I mean, of course, that's not the case now. No. But I was married at the time. And so that was really the first time. And when I was in Atlanta, I was working for 99X. Rock radio used to be a very big thing. And people were impressed that you were on it, even if you were just a DJ. And in Atlanta, like, it was super crazy, too, because I got a morning show in Atlanta when I was, like, 25. So, and I was doing nights before that was even crazier. And that BC game was the first time, because when I first moved to Boston, like, you know, I was just in a very insular, like, just the show hung out because we didn't know anyone else. And that BC game was, like, one of the first times I really went out in Boston. I was probably 31, just to turn 31, or was about to turn 31, or maybe I was 31. But it doesn't matter. But that was the first time in my life that I was, like, I realized, like, oh, I'm older than adults. Yeah. There's adults that I'm older than. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Like, there's
yeah.
22 is not that much younger than me. 22, like, you're a senior in college, like that. And I wasn't trying to hook up with the intern or anything. It wasn't anything like that. I didn't even know her, but it was that there was, like, all these kids and they had no interest in me. All these 22-year-olds, they had no interest in me, and the parents had the interest in me. And that was when I was like, oh.
So what do you want for this Saturday? What is it? How can we help you?
What I want is, I will see my friends with families and stuff. I see, because now I might take my daughter, so I might not want it for Saturday, because I might take my daughter because friends of hers will be there with friends of ours. So that I might do that on Saturday. So Saturday's off the table. What ideally I would want is a nice middle of the road tailgate, a tailgate where people that aren't bringing their families are going, but they're also not students. I like a nice pocket of people that, like, aren't bringing children, basically. So there's divorced people and single, like that kind of situation. That's what it would be ideal for me. But I don't know if that exists.
I was going to say, you're walking a real fine line there.
Well, Jonathan, if you don't inquire about things, if you just stay with the status quo and just accept that it's not happening, then it won't happen.
You're looking for a real mixer of a tailgate.
Right, like a salon almost of great minds. I'm looking to exchange information. It's an academic environment. It's a good school. I'm looking to create to talk about the news and things of that nature. To talk about what books we've read.
And you have an extra ticket?
I do have an extra ticket.
Why don't you
Yeah.
invite your friend and coworker to go with you, and you will be invited to and get a chance to meet virtually everyone in attendance at that tailgate. And that person is Scott Zolak.
Because he'd never go. There's no way in a million years that Scott would go with me. And plus, he wouldn't have any fun because I don't drink.
Well, that's not going to stop him.
Right.
And number two, I don't know that he wouldn't go to a BC football game.
Not a chance.
I don't think there's any way he'd go to a BC game with me. Not because he doesn't like me, but because
Pats are home again on Sunday. It's not traveling.
Yep.
It's going to be a nice day, right?
I don't know. But it's going to be like a whole production with him. And by the way, I can't bring a date to the BC game because there's so many parents of my kids' friends that it would just be super awkward. So I can't really bring a female, so that's out of the question. You understand that, like, when I see there's like so many people I know going with their families, if I brought a woman, that would immediately get back to my kids, and it would be super weird. Not that I'm not allowed to do that, but I don't need their friends like telling them.
I get it.
Like,
Weather's supposed to be
your dad
beautiful.
was with some. Okay, well there you go.
Says sunny in mid-70s.
I mean, if Scott wanted to go with me, I could go, and then he could kind of he could just kind of like run. We could just walk behind him and like
you'd be America's guest. You could get into whatever tailgate you wanted.
I could just draft behind him.
Yeah.
Well, that's like when I was dating my ex-wife. We went to Penn State. She's graduated Penn State, and she was, good looking and young. So I would just have her walk up to tailgates at Penn State, and people would be so happy. They would just like hand her a drink, and then I'd just draft in behind her and like, hi. And they'd be like, ugh. And I'd be like, what are you gonna do? And then when they knew what was up, we would just go to the other tailgate. I had her running interference.
I've been there. I've been to that stadium. That's a big field.
Oh, it's just a huge field. Yeah,
thousands of tailgates out there. Yep.
I told you about when we went to Penn State. We go in on a Friday night. They're playing Ohio State at 3:30 the next day. So we go in on a Friday night and we meet all her friends. Mm-hmm. And all her friends, I had just started doing mornings, like maybe that week. So we got there on Friday night, and I'm like, Stephanie, I got to go to bed. Like, we're sharing rooms with people and stuff. I'm like, I got to go to bed. Like, they're all partying, and I'm like, I'm dying. Like, I got up. I wasn't used to getting up in the morning. I like couldn't sleep because I was nervous.
That's a long drive in there.
Yeah, well, her dad was getting married, so we had like a limo.
Oh, all right.
But whatever. But it was a long drive. Yeah, it was like a whole thing. We flew into State College, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
So anyway, like we get up the next morning, and she's like, I want to take you to my sorority house and my favorite bagel place, and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, fine. And it's, we get up at like 8 in the morning because we went to bed. It gets to be like 11 in the morning, and I'm like, I want to get effed up. Like, I want to drink. Like, everyone's drinking. Like, the whole town. There were old men with open bottles of, like, bourbon, like, just walking around drinking. And I'm like, I want to get drunk. I mean, I was in my 20s. I want to get drunk. Things hadn't gotten out of hand by then.
Had you been to the sorority house yet?
Oh, we'd done everything.
Okay.
So I
just want to make sure you got the important stuff out of the way.
So she goes, I mean, I can't tell you all the things we did that were boring. Like, that were just so boring.
I can't tell you all the crap things that we did that morning by the time I just snapped and said, I need to get effed up.
But so there's this, like, carrot dangling in front of me that eventually, like, this is going to turn into a big party. So as there's no one on the street when we first go out, then hour by hour, the atmosphere starts to grow. It gets to be like 11 in the morning. I start getting antsy. It's like 11:30. I'm like, call your effing friends. Like, have them meet us out at a bar. She calls her friends, and there's probably 6 of them. They're all couples. They go, oh, no, we partied too hard last night. I don't think we're going to go out. So I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. I'm like, we're not doing any. I go, Stephanie, we're going out. And she was very cool. She was like, let's go. And I said, if your friends aren't doing it and they're not going to have it, because there's supposed to be this tailgate and everything, if they're not doing it, we're going to the tailgate. And I just drifted behind her. I just would send her in. I'd say, you go in there. And then sure enough, she'd walk up and guys would go, oh, what do you want to drink? And she'd go, oh, can I have 2? I have a friend. And they'd go, yeah. And then she'd hand me the drink. I'd be like,
So yeah. For a 3:30 kickoff, when did you wander onto the property? 11? 10:30?
No, I told you that. It took forever. Like 1.
1. All right. Okay.
Yeah, and 3:30's late. If you've been up at 8 in the morning walking around, like, and with no hotel room, like, I mean, just walking around Penn State's campus for 5 hours. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
Like, I look back at some of my drinking and I go, like, that was out of control. That day was very, very in control. That was like, all right, like 5 hours of this. Like, can we please, dude, we can go back to the room. 5 hours of walking around stupid State College. I don't care about any of it. We had a bagel. Like, that was the thing. And it's like, wow, what a great bagel, Stephanie. Like, this is so wonderful. But I didn't complain until it got to be like 11:30. And I was like, all right. And not even a drink at 11:30, but I was like, when's this starting? When's this start? And she's like, I'll call him. She calls him.
There's got to be some kind of a payoff to this morning of hell.
Well, I thought the whole thing was like, I don't want to be with your friends. I don't want to do any of this. But the whole payoff is there's supposed to be this like incredible experience at this game. I don't care about the game. I don't even remember what happened in that game. But I think that the redheaded guy that was involved in that whole scenario with the guys was the quarterback of the team at that time.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think so, or he was certainly a coach, but because Paterno was the coach when we went.
Right.
Wow.
Blind Scott, go ahead, Blind Scott.
Okay.
Oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, my cousin plays football for Notre Dame. He's a long snapper. He's number 62. His name's Joe Vinci. He's from Westwood. But I would come to the game with you on Saturday. I could take the train to Newton Center and then meet you in Newton Center. And then when you bring me around, you would look really good because you'd be guiding a blind person around, and you could pretend like you're showing them around everywhere. And then I won't speak. I'll pretend I'm a nonverbal so people won't talk to me. That's what I do.
Well, that sounds like a plan. I can't argue with that.
You know, a nonverbal.
By the way, Blind Scott's the second person that told me that he knew the long snapper on Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Apparently, this kid was quite a story in Westwood because Blind Scott's not the first guy that's told me they know the long. Because every time I say I'm selling these tickets, I tell everyone because I want someone to buy them. And someone else has said, "Oh yeah, we know the long snapper from Westwood." Interesting. This kid's got quite a reputation.
Yeah.
He's quite the hero about town. I guess go to Notre Dame. They'll talk about you even if you're the dumb long snapper.
Joseph Vinci, there he is.
Mm-hmm.
Blind Scott's really the second person.
According to fightingirish.com, 6'4", 232, class freshman, hometown Westwood, Mass, high school Westwood, cousin Blind Scott from the North End.
Oh, wow.
It's all listed there on his bio.
Frequent radio caller, Blind Scott.
What?
But he makes a good point. I mean, I could walk around with Blind Scott and he could pretend he's nonverbal.
Yeah.
And I would,
because that's what, remember you said, that's what I do. So
That's what he does.
I believe he's pulled this before.
Yeah, it's a little fun thing that he does. All right. Well, very good. We'll figure it out. We will be back in just a moment.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Stay safe and warm this winter with your local home heating oil provider. And learn more about bioheat fuel at massenergymarketers.org.
Hey.
couldn't get into Michigan, but just on that edge. Just like the last people not allowed in. That's who goes to Indiana. By the way, what happened last night is brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lepresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. What is going on, Hardy?
Red Sox right there in the hunt as they take on the Toronto Blue Jays last night. Red Sox, first team to draw blood.
And there's a base hit into left field. Here comes Masataka. He's going to round and score. And Lowe comes through here. His 82nd RBI. Hit that ball hard.
There we go. That's 1-0 Boston. Now, second inning, very interesting. And you want to talk about some good fortune by way of the umpiring in last night's game.
Foul ball up the line, and that is a foul ball. Third base umpire Scott Barry right on top of it, ruled it foul. Springer beside himself.
So did you?
Oh yeah,
did you?
That ball was fair.
No, well, the ball bounced fair and then crossed right over that third base. I mean, it was pretty clear from the angles that I saw.
It was obvious it was a fair ball. Now, at the time, Fred, the Red Sox are up 1-0, but Toronto has the bases loaded and 2 outs. Springer hits that ball up the third base line, which was fair. That ball goes into the corner, at least 2 runs score, maybe 3, and the game would have been very different than it wound up being.
Why was it not challenged?
That's a good question, and Dave O'Brien was kind of dancing around it.
Dave O'Brien at some point said it wasn't challengeable.
Yes, it wasn't challengeable, but Dave O'Brien wasn't clear as to why. He came up with an excuse, or he was being fed the excuse that because it was in front of the umpire, the ball never got fair all the way to the umpire who was at third base or something. It wasn't clear at all. But what we found out was that call, for some reason, was not challengeable. And give the Toronto manager credit. He walked right out there and asked the home plate umpire, can I challenge this? And the ump told him no.
Well, it's good to know he didn't know either. I would think that would be one of the things that you can't challenge it because the runners didn't advance?
I have no idea.
So if you blow the
clear.
I wonder if the reason you can't challenge it, because I might as well just start speculating.
So
is that it? Because how would you rule it fair? Because then how would you judge who comes in and where the batter ends up? I wonder if that's the case.
That's fair. That's a good point.
The count was either full at that point, or that made the count full.
That it was a 2-1 pitch that made it 2-2.
Okay.
You
that
got a
foul
encyclopedic knowledge.
Made it 2-2. Well, I was watching the games.
Well,
I know, but just the idea that you remember the count is very exciting.
Springer gets back in the box.
One foul before the bag, so you can't challenge that. Giolito trying to escape, and it's in there for strike 3.
No, it was not.
No, that was about 4 inches outside.
It was middle, but it was off the plate. There was no doubt about it.
It was high and away, and the guy called it strike 3.
Hi, John.
Okay.
I'll call it middle, but it was off the plate, man.
All right. So, Fred, after Springer struck out.
Springer slamming the handle of the bat in frustration.
Oh, he
threw a fit, and the ump let him do it because he understood.
As well he should. He got screwed twice in the same at bat.
I've seen guys thrown out of the game for less. But the umpire clearly understood that he got screwed.
Dude, you can.
You would think that human nature is that you would err on the side of protecting the guy that you just screwed over.
Well, even if you didn't do the screwing on that, it was the ump down the third baseline. When he rung him up on that called third strike, I was like, holy crap. Just no sense of the moment in Toronto even. Like, what? Wow. You got a set on you, pal.
With Geddy Lee possibly there. Dan, go ahead.
Good morning, guys. Hey, so they're implementing the new computerized balls and strikes next year, right? And there's 2 challenges. So question for you. If you challenge and you win and the call is overturned, do you retain your challenge?
No.
Because that can get pretty embarrassing for these refs.
No, you don't. And I got to tell you that there's nothing wrong with the challenge system. I was at spring training, and they were using it in spring training. And you didn't even know it was happening. Yeah, it happened so fast.
They did it during the All-Star game as well. You saw it happen, and it took 20 seconds, 15 seconds.
So what would happen? Because baseball takes a long time anyway. Like the batter just touches his helmet, and then You'll see on the scoreboard the strike zone, and then it's like immediate. So there's really no issue with it. And I take it Springer would have done that, but you do not get it back, so you have to use them judiciously.
You get 2 challenges a game, and then if it goes to extra innings, you get 1 challenge per extra inning. And if you have any challenges left over, then that's what counts. You don't get an extra challenge for the extra inning. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that was one that Springer absolutely would have challenged.
All right, Adam can explain why it was not challengeable. Adam, go ahead.
Hi, guys. So because the fair foul call was in front of the umpire, it's not challengeable. Had it been down the line, they could have challenged it behind him.
Okay, so what do they do with the runners at that point? Like, what do they give the batter? If they've already ruled it foul and they haven't advanced the runners, what happens?
So I've seen them rule a single and I've seen them rule a double when they've overruled a fair foul call down the left or right field line.
So it's a judgment call at that point.
A judgment call similar to, where the ball should be, where the runner should be on obstruction on a base or throw out of play.
Okay.
Has specific rules, but that's a judgment call. It's typically a single, although sometimes if it's deep, depending on the stadium, there have been ground rule doubles called because of an overturned fair foul call.
All right. Well, excellent. Thank you, Adam. You are very
Adam.
knowledgeable and more knowledgeable than the people even that were managing the game, because you got to come out and at least ask.
Right. All right, so it's 2-1 Red Sox in the 6th inning after Nathaniel Lowe's RBI single. Then Carlos Narvaez at the plate with runners on.
Fly ball in the right center field. Lengthy run here for Lucas. He is not going to get it. It's onto the track. That's going to score 1 run. Here comes the second run. Abreu touches home plate. And how about the shot by Narvaez? The Red Sox lead it 4-1.
They do indeed, and that would be your final 4-1 win over the Blue Jays.
They were, once again, very fortunate in this game because of the whole Springer thing. And then Trevor Story had errors in each of the first 2 innings that didn't hurt them. First ball hit to him, routine grounder, short hops to first baseman. And then to set up the Springer thing, it was a routine ground ball to second base. You flip the ball to second, Story's there, and drops the ball to allow the bases to be loaded to send Springer up. And Springer's having a big season, too. So they're very lucky they got out of there with a win. So good for them. A huge win at this time of year.
Yeah, now everything's jammed up in the AL because you had the Tigers lose their 7th in a row last night. And now they are in a tie for the Central. The Red Sox now have a better record than both Cleveland and Detroit. And Houston is a game out from Detroit.
Okay, Detroit had a 12.5 game lead over Cleveland less than a month ago and are now tied. That's unprecedented.
And they pitched Skubal last night and did not win. So that was their best chance.
Yeah, Skubal last night. Well, there were 2 things that happened in this game. We can get to them right now. There was an error early on.
He's showing bunt. Bunts it up the first baseline. Skubal off the mound. Oh, he threw it over the head of the first baseman. Lundell's on his way to second. One into third. He'll stop there. Boy, what a gamble.
Big gamble.
But the real low light of the night is who's the batter last night? Fry.
Yes.
Yeah. He's trying to lay down a bunt. Skubal's still on the mound for Detroit.
Here's David Fry, 0 for 2 on the night. He squares. He tried to bunt, and it hit the bat and then hit him in the face. Skubal threw his hat and glove down as soon as he threw the pitch and saw what happened. So David up under his own power, and Skubal really upset as well.
Yeah, 99-mile-an-hour four-seamer that I don't know. I didn't want to watch it over and over again, but it appears that it gets maybe a piece of the bat before it gets him in the face, but not much.
I don't know about that. It hit him right in the face. It didn't hit the bat, and to my recollection. I've seen it a couple times. I was watching that game last night, so that's the game I was watching. But
if anything, it just deflects off enough to get him up a little bit higher. May have made it worse.
Well, if you didn't see it, Fry squares the bunt, and then from my angle of it, it looked like it just hit him in the face. I don't know how. I mean, he's squaring the bunt. He's looking right at Skubal. The ball's coming at him. I'm not quite sure why he didn't turn his head. I mean, there is, even with 99-mile-an-hour fastball, there's time to react. It did seem. I'll have to look at it again. I didn't think that it hit the bat, but what do I know?
And that messes you up. I mean, I think that messed Scooble up. He stayed out there after that, and there was a balk. He balked after that, and there was a walk in there. He wasn't himself after that.
Yeah, and then I think this is probably the pitch that if you're worried about going up too high against a batter's face again, you might do something like this.
I don't think
Valero will come up with a 2-2 count. It gets away. Here comes the tying run on the wild pitch. Just the third wild pitch on the year for Scooble, and how about that?
In the dirt, and Tigers go on to lose that one, and they've just
that just hit him in the face. I'm watching it now. I don't know how it hit him in the face. I don't know how you can be turned to bunt. It's not even like that crazy a wild pitch either. It's like up and in, but he's out over the plate. Like I'd see it would hit you, right? Like you're gonna get hit by the pitch.
Yep.
But you would think that you would turn your head. Like I kind of.
You're facing both eyes. It sounds weird to say it, but you're full facing.
Oh no!
The pitcher.
It doesn't sound weird, and it's not like the ball. Like it was a fastball. It didn't break like a ton.
Yeah.
I don't know how he didn't get out of the way of that thing. In terms of turning your head,
yeah.
Like I don't know how you get hit flush in the face with that.
Oh.
Like you face 99-mile-an-hour fastballs. There is that time to react. If you can hit a 99-mile-an-hour fastball and time it so you're hitting a 400-foot home run, I would think that you could turn your head. But I'm not like he got hit on purpose, obviously. But I'm just saying that it was. It doesn't. You don't see it very often.
It's amazing that he sat up, got up, and sat on the back of the cart that took him off the field. I mean. And he did.
I think the danger is more like breaking like an orbital bone or something more than it is like knocking you out. Like it's. I mean, I've seen numerous kids get hit with 90-mile-an-hour fastballs and 95-mile-an-hour fastballs. Like I see him get hit in the head. I've never seen a kid get nailed right in the face. Their kids now are at a level, and the way things are now, kids are throwing in the 90s. There's like a bunch of them throwing in the 90s. And they're wild. So I've seen a ton of kids get hit. And kids are getting hit. It's just I don't know how that guy got hit in the face. I just don't know.
Regardless of how or why it happened, I mean, that changes careers. I mean, that it can very easily derail
in Boston,
a
you were
career.
very sensitive to that because of the
Canigliaro was one in the
Canigliaro.
60s, but I was at a game where a pitcher got hit by a comebacker right in the face. I mean, I saw it happen live. That pitcher wasn't. His name was Bryce Flory. He was never the same.
I would argue that that's way worse because first of all, you're not expecting that, and second of all, there's no way to react to that. Like if a ball comes off the bat 100 and some odd miles an hour right at your face, like you're in I know you're squared to field, like you're supposed to be in that position, but there's no time to react. If you're squared to bunt or you're hitting. Like that's you're constantly getting a ball thrown at you. Like that's more. I think getting hit on a comebacker as a pitcher would bother me way more than getting hit in the face with the pitch if I was hitting.
He was just in that case. Flory tried to make a comeback and was unable to. Canigliaro too, but
Canigliaro, but that screwed him up really bad physically, right? Like that he was out for like a season because it smashed. Because there was a famous Sports Illustrated cover with his face all bloated up.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, these batters have been hit hundreds of times, so they're more used to it. Pitcher go your whole career without getting hit.
I can't believe this happened to the Tigers. Looking at the overall picture, I mean, this is an unprecedented collapse. But for the Red Sox point of view, they're a game up on Detroit now for that second wild card, and Houston lost their fourth in a row last night. They were out in Sacramento, so Houston is now one game behind Detroit for the final wild card.
I had said that already. This is very embarrassing for you.
The Red Sox are now 2 games clear of that.
Right. And the Yankees
5 to go.
The Yankees clinched a playoff spot.
And and the Red Sox have the tiebreaker on Houston. So it's really a 3-game lead with 5 to go.
Well, it's very exciting.
Yeah.
All right. I can see you're all jazzed up about it.
All
right.
excited.
We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox won in Toronto 4-1. Carlos Narvaez's 2-run double in the 6th inning capped a 3-run rally and gave the Sox some breathing room in this game. They lead Detroit by 1 game and Houston by 2 for the second wild card in the American League. They pitch Garrett Crochet in Toronto tonight. Patriots and Carolina will play in Foxborough this Sunday. Both teams back out at practice today. And the Bruins got 3 goals in the third period and then an overtime goal from Nikita Zadorov. They beat the Rangers in preseason play 5-4. They visit Philadelphia on Saturday. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Coors Light. Choose chill with an ice cold Coors Light and watch football every week at Hooters in Dedham, Saugus, Shrewsbury, or West Springfield. Hooters makes you happy this football season. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the
We are Toucher and Hardy. Hardy, what else is going on?
Bruins preseason action last night and taking on the New York Rangers. Bruins first to score. It's my favorite player on the team right here.
Are you to Middlestad in front? They score, and it's Matej Blumel redirecting that.
That's right.
Shesterkin, Bruins strike first.
What? Who? What?
Lots of names. Big names at the world's most decorated arena. Madison Square Garden, where you can see Matej Blumel. Right, and you can see Michael Eisman-Imont.
Wasn't that Prince's
and Marat
wife's name?
Kostufadufaduf.
Marat Husnadinov.
Zadarov scored.
Yes.
So you got that going.
Well, we'll get to that. Jesus Jones. Let me tell the story here.
I was just trying to
the
seem
whole
smart.
thing,
Leaping at the clitoris like a bull in a cape. Warm me up a little bit.
Well, that is the warm-up.
All right, so the Bruins score first, up 1-0. For the moment, unanswered goals for the Rangers, including this right here.
Patra from the near circle, back toward Blumel. Had trouble finding the handle along the near boards, lost it. Pablo brings the Rangers ahead short-handed, got it over to Gavrikov, who scores.
Yeah.
And the Rangers, with a short-handed goal, make it 4-1.
Yeah, that's what happens when Tylon Boyko gets into the crease. Or Igor Skafivovich gets into the crease. I mean, there is a big goaltending problem when it gets down to Igor Shrebragabada.
Igor what?
Shesterkin.
Igor Shesterkin?
Well done.
Well, I think he won the Vezina not long ago.
Well, good. I didn't know that.
That one I recognize.
Now he's backing up Talon Boyko or whatever the hell the guy's name is.
Miguel Hasselpfeffer.
What happened to Igor Shesterkin?
Shesterkin.
He's the Rangers goaltender.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Bruins
Corpusala played for the Bruins last night.
Right.
Okay, very good.
Bruins would battle back, though, score twice in the third to make it 4-3, and then
Soderstrom to Middlestad. Walks it down toward the hash marks. Down low for Eisman. Middlestad again, right circle. Eisman, side of the net in front, and they score! And it's Husnadinov who redirects that pass in, and the Bruins come from 3 down in the third period to tie it.
I remember the first time last year, John, when you were doing an update, when you mentioned Hustadinov, like, who's what? Who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got him at the deadline last year.
Yeah, like the end of the year when it was just like, there's no point in paying any attention, and it was just a bunch of, you would turn on a game and you'd be like, I don't know who any of these people are.
Those two guys.
I like hockey. I love the Bruins.
Yeah.
I would turn it on and say, I don't know who these people
Well, that's understandable. I mean, they had such consistency with that team. I mean, you automatically knew who everyone was. You knew everyone's number. You knew the
them. Lines.
Yeah, you knew their the lines. Like, yeah, like, I mean, this is an unprecedented, since I've been here, this is the second rebuild. And the first one I was here, I was all about it. Yeah. This is only the second time they've had to rebuild.
This one feels a little tougher.
Yeah, no, this one isn't going to be quick.
Well, this one we're here for the bottom. See, when I came in right at the bottom.
Yeah.
And so everything was growing from there. See, this is the first time I've seen it sink. Now it has to rise again. It was already sunk when I first came to town.
Those two guys, Eisman and Husnadinov, get used to those two guys. Those two guys are going to be starting every night. Bottom six forwards, both of them. So,
well, I'll be used to it, you know, come quarter way through the season. But as of right now, you cannot expect me to know these names.
So
I couldn't even. I thought that the goaltender for the Rangers was the goaltender for the Bruins, and apparently he's a good goaltender. I'm so confused with foreign names right now.
Well, Hustadinov scored the equalizer there in the third, forcing overtime. Who would prevail?
Long pass ahead. Zadorov sneaking into the Rangers zone. Goes in front. Couldn't get off a shot. Turns with it far circle. Now shoots and scores! Nikita Zadorov with the overtime game winner and heads right to the tunnel. No celebrating. Call it a night.
You should be celebrating because your goaltender kept you in the game in the second period.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Was that on TV?
Set him straight, Bobby.
Yeah.
Was that on TV?
Yes, it was. But not with Judd and Brickley. Nesson broadcasted the Rangers broadcast last night.
It was on Nesson Plus?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, 5-4.
I'm not watching a preseason game.
Understood. But, well, as I said, they didn't exactly take it seriously. Judd didn't go, so
I had to. I'm no big Tigers fan, but with Skubal pitching, I had to check the damage. That's what I had to view last night. I had to see what was going on with that thing, and the only broadcast of it I could get on the radio was the Cleveland call, which I didn't care for. I had to see that disaster unfold. I don't really care.
Right.
But I just like it when there's an atmosphere in the city of Detroit, and they will blow that. And they should probably. I mean, they got very lucky last year, and, they kind of did the reverse of what they're doing this year. Instead of falling apart, they had this unbelievable surge, and then they beat Houston in the playoffs, and they got to the second round, and that was kind of found money. And then this year, the reverse is happening. So I guess it's kind of even Steven.
Yeah, and I would expect the fan base in Detroit right now not to be sad about things. They got to be pissed. It's not like somebody went on a great run and took it away from you as you tried to tread water. No, you just fell apart.
Well,
that team has fallen apart.
They have the advantage of having Michigan football and the lines being good. So they get a little heat taken off of them. I have a feeling there's not a great deal of Tiger talk going on right now.
Not after that Monday night game. No.
People are coming up to me yesterday. They're like, you know how you guys, one of you guys said yesterday that it's like watching a different sport.
Yes.
I had two guys. I was talking to two guys yesterday, believe it or not, and the conversation started with them making the point that it seemed like a different sport. Like the entertainment of that game was
my
so far and
commentary
away.
has entered the zeitgeist.
Explain define zeitgeist. Is that German?
Como?
I don't get it. When did you start saying that? Look at this try-hard with the zeitgeist.
Jesus.
See, the joke is that I say zeitgeist too much.
Right.
Even though it's the perfect word for when I say it.
Some say the most perfect word.
Yeah, I'm a little over him with the tweets.
Did you catch any of the address to the UN yesterday?
Yeah, I kind of got a vibe, but I did see the tweet of like that they got $16 million out of ABC the last time. They're going to try to get it again. So again, the federal government is extorting a network.
Well, the day
because they don't like the programming on it and are doing it, and that's fine because I get that. What I don't understand is the cognitive dissonance of like. He's not really doing that though. That's not what he's doing. Well, it's what he's doing. He's saying it right there. He wrote it. It's the exact thing that he's saying. If you're fine with that, then you're fine with that. But don't act like it's not happening. It's happening.
The first day we were on the air after Kimmel was taken off the air, I told you I saw an interview with a legal analyst when they asked. I said, "Does Kimmel have a case against ABC, or does he have a case against Trump? Like, could ABC somehow like sue Trump? Could anyone sue from that side?" And the legal analyst laughed and said, "No, ABC, Disney, they just settled with Trump over this last year. I think it was December of 24. They said it's much more likely that as a result of this, at some point, Trump will just sue them again." And lo and behold, there you go.
And this is Whitney Cummings, the great Whitney Cummings. If Kimmel stayed canceled, he'd probably do a podcast or a show on YouTube and be able to really let loose. Okay, that's basically the sentiment. And the guy says, which drives me crazy, ... All right, now you're drawing the ring. But what the guy says, I think you're completely missing the bigger point, which is this administration using FCC to strip away a person's First Amendment rights. But sure, go with your thing. And then Whitney Cummings says, nobody has free speech at work, baby girl. And the thing is that I can't believe that you don't understand that the Federal Communications Commission extorting the network is the government extorting. What about that? Don't you like what part of that did you lose? You had a sitcom on a network. Were you that? I guess everything is so scripted in bad sitcoms that they're not aware that there's any Federal Communications Commission. That it just is. If someone could say to someone, a comedian, this is what the Federal Communications Commission is involved, and the comedian goes like, no. And you're like, okay. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, but Trump will sue ABC again. There's no question. And they'll pay them because you got to pay them to get the mergers approved.
Okay.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy on the way on the Sports Hub.
Coleman.
It's electric.
When you need an electrician, call Coleman Electric. From Boston to Bow, New Hampshire, south to Sandwich, west to Worcester, Coleman Electric has an office around your corner and up your block. Remember, it's not Coleman, it's Coleman. Kuhlman.
It's electric.
Hey, it's Beetle for
WBZ-FM and HD1. It's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Easily Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox took a major step towards clinching a playoff spot last night. Care of a 4-1 win in Toronto. Sox got 3 in the 6th inning to snap a 1-1 tie. Nathaniel Lowe and Carlos Narvaez added 2 RBIs apiece. It is a huge win at an important time of year for Alex Cora.
Big one today, big one. The road trip so far has been a positive one, right? We got the big boy tomorrow on the mound, and we got Bayo the last day. See how it goes.
Houston lost out in Sacramento late last night. Detroit continued their collapse with a 5-2 loss to Cleveland. So the Sox lead the Tigers by 1 game and the Astros by 2 for the second wild card with 5 left. Garrett Crochet faces the Blue Jays tonight. After a test run in the minors and at the All-Star game last season, Major League Baseball will implement the automatic ball strike system for regular season games and playoffs starting next year. Patriots in Carolina play in Foxborough on Sunday. Pats will be back out of practice today. And the Bruins scored 3 times in the third period and got a Nikita Zadorov goal in overtime. They beat the Rangers 5-4 at Madison Square Garden. The Bruins are 1-1 in preseason play. They visit Philadelphia on Saturday. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning. With over 50 trucks on the road because your clogged drain is their emergency, go to johnsewer.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5, The Sports Hub. Fred describes himself in 7 words.
A guy in tights and a cape.
And Hardy with blunt honesty.
I am not known as Mr. Fun.
Toucher and Hardy continues on the Sports
Variety, essentially.
It is. I mean, they said, look, we're not putting traditional swimsuit models. Now, times change, and this is where Adam's idea comes in, is that times do change. It's obvious what the public wanted in the 60s is way different than what the public wanted in the 80s.
Right.
There is a evolution. Now, they stopped using models like around the time that the internet really took off. So we'll take those off the table. No need to be cruel. But so no need to name names. But let's just say that it's become more of a what is it? What would you term it as? Like a power,
An empowerment thing?
An empowerment thing. Like it is it's not so much for the men anymore to gaze at. So what it looks like is it started in 1964 as kind of like they tested it out a little bit because it's a skin diver's guide to the Caribbean. And it features a woman that is just like a regular attractive lady. Right there. If you can go to the page, Hardy, you're going to have to look at this. It's just a regular attractive lady, and obviously this caused quite a stir because they then started the swimsuit issue, which, as quaint as it may sound, was a object of a little bit of political back and forth, and a lot of people did not like the swimsuit issue. And I'm sure all your fathers had a subscription to Sports Illustrated. Now, we had no pornography in the house, none. I never, as much as I searched high and low everywhere, not even a Playboy. Now, I did have a guy in the neighborhood who we became friends with for a weekend because his dad in his library had an office with a library, like bookshelves, and had leather-bound by year Playboys in this leather-bound cases. They were very classy. I couldn't stand the kid, but his dad had so many Playboys that we would go over there. My house was bare, so when the swimsuit issue would come, I would confiscate it, as I'm sure you did as well. And then I would hide it because if my mother found it, she would then lay it on my pillow.
It's a weak
as if to say, Freddie, I know what you're doing in here.
It's like taking a dog and shoving its nose in the poop.
Because we all know of the Jugs magazine incident of my youth where my mom found the Jugs magazine that I had happened upon. Again, these were not things I purchased. What was there was there. And it might even had a pregnant lady on the cover. But nonetheless.
The swimsuit issue always came the week after the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, late January, early February.
All right.
That was when it was.
All right.
Yep.
So here is where the contest comes in. It's gonna Hardy. We are gonna go. Look at this. It's the waves. Whoa.
And I've already started. I don't know what year we're starting, but I just started scrolling up the year. Stop. The year of my birth, 1971. That's my favorite so far. Look at Cheryl Teagues.
Yeah, she's not even in a bathing suit. She just has bathing suit bottoms on, and she is in a. So the 60s is the 60s.
She's wearing a sweater.
The 60s, the 60s is like just like it's like all Twiggy stuff. Like there's no need to get into it. It's almost like arcane at this point. But as the 70s go, Hardy, I am very modest. They are not. They seem up until the year 1975, the year of my birth, to be a little against showing full women's fronts. Like there's not a woman in a bikini. They did that in the 60s, but somehow something shifted in 1970. And as you put it, the very famous Cheryl Teagues, a very beautiful woman. She's wearing a sweater with swimsuit bottom on.
Yeah.
And now that you like that modesty.
I really like it. I like the vibe that she's given off there. You know, she could be just wanting to get back to her book. And I like that. I like that energy that she's given off there.
Now, do you wish that the bathing suits would go back to like Coney Island in the 20s? When women would be completely covered and there would even be like a skirt on it?
Yeah, you know what I'd like more than the actual bathing suit is a nice wrap that goes over the bathing suit. I think those are.
Okay, so that takes us to 1971. There's a Paradise Regained.
Yes.
There is a woman, she's wearing, that's not even a bathing suit. She's wearing like some kind of.
It's a sarong.
Sarong, that's what I was going to say. Like, now, is that too revealing? It's a woman who has her breasts covered, but it does show that she has breasts, but then she's covered up completely on the bottom. Would you rather the top be covered, because that was what Cheryl Teagues was doing, or the bottom be covered, which the woman in 1971 is doing?
Either or I'm fine with. I mean, if you could somehow combo those up, maybe do a sweater along with that sarong on the bottom half, now you've got a look going. But I'm fine. I don't want them both uncovered.
Okay.
The top and the bottom.
1972, the woman has a one-piece, almost two one-piece bathing suits on at the same time. There's almost a scuba diving situation happening. I'm trying to explain it to the audience. It's a little difficult to do, but is that too modest for the swimsuit issue? In 1972, they really took a step back.
Yeah, you know what? This is going to come as a bit of a shock to you. Not a fan of the one piece. I would rather have a two piece going on, but with some cover up happening.
Okay.
Okay.
There are, in 1976, we move ahead, there are twins, and one has a one piece on and one has a bikini. Your thoughts on twins?
Well, first of all, they look like very nice girls. I'm not a fan of the one piece. I just don't like the way it looks. I like the two piece, and I like the fact that she is in profile because I don't want to see everything, like, as you said, full frontal.
Right. Okay, so now let's get into what we all know. All right, starting in 1980, it's Christy Brinkley for 3 years in a row.
Now, this goes against type for me. I know I just said I'm against the one piece, but she's absolutely rocking it there. And it's covering up a lot. It's cut a little high on the hips. It's a little too look at me there on the hip line, but otherwise, what a beauty. What a nice-looking woman she is.
Is she too beautiful, though? Is Christy Brinkley too beautiful for you?
But she's classically beautiful, and I appreciate that in almost like a romantic artist sense.
Did you look at the Billy Joel relationship as vindication, that in hope that one day that she would be with such a troll of a man?
She's getting with the piano man there. She appreciates the artistry and the intellect and the poetry.
Did you watch that documentary by any chance?
No.
Okay, so she had this she's in it, and she's very good in it, and she's very upfront in it. She had this vision of this like very musical house that was filled with joy and music, but instead she just got a drunken troll. And it did not work out the way that she wanted. Because in the beginning of the relationship, she's like dancing around, and they have a daughter, and they're like dancing around. And then all of a sudden, like, he starts not coming home because, and she's calling bars looking around for him, and she's like, "You're a troll."
Why don't you?
And you should be home making music for me.
Why don't you play the piano? I play the piano for 2.5 hours.
Well, that's how he got her. I mean, it's no surprise he happened to be in the Caribbean while she was shooting down there, and they were at a bar, and he, of course, got behind the piano and started playing. And then look at me, and then all of a sudden she comes up. So that is
the fantasy for a lot of people. They don't want to necessarily be able to pick up a guitar and play it at a party because who wants to hear that? But I think it's a valid wish to have, just to have the ability to be able to sit down at a piano and play it. Those people aren't annoying. Those people are impressive.
Oh, there's much more impressive to be able to play the piano than to play the guitar. Any idiot can learn 3 chords. In classical guitar, sounds bad. It's just boring. If you were at a party and someone's playing classical guitar, I don't think you would.
You mean like an acoustic guitar?
Yeah, like finger picking an acoustic guitar. It would be annoying to me. A piano, you're like, oh well, those are 88 keys.
Yeah,
you've learned a lot.
You got pedals down there too.
Now, I have to assume, out of all the '80s models, as I look at them, Carol Alt is your favorite. She's got a one-piece. She doesn't even look hot. The wind's blowing her hair. It looks unkept.
Did she straighten out her curls for the photo shoot because she wanted to look perfect? No, she did not.
She did not.
Because you don't have to, Carol. You're doing the right thing.
And I would imagine Elle Macpherson is a little too exotic for you, or is Elle Macpherson? Because Paulina Poroskova, who also married someone who was unattractive.
Now,
is she too exotic for you?
Despite my druthers that often lean the other way, who didn't think Paulina Poroskova was the most beautiful person they had ever seen the first time they laid eyes on her?
I mean, she is very good looking.
Yeah.
I never was a big Elle Macpherson fan, though. Now we're getting into 12, 13, when I'm 12 or 13, and I was not an Elle Macpherson fan. I can tell you that those issues were of no use to me. I mean, I used them. But that was just because they were around. I also was using the Home Shopping Network and the Weather Channel, which I'm not exaggerating.
Elle Macpherson had a vibe like she's obviously very beautiful, but she's got, look at the 1988 issue. And again, it's a one piece.
She's pulling it down, Hardy.
Okay.
She's revealing more breast than needs to be revealed.
And also, she's got a look in her eyes like, I know I'm very pretty, but I'm also going to beat you one-on-one in basketball here in about 5 minutes. She kind of looks like a bully.
She's very tall.
Remember when we
very tall for some men,
and she's looks like a swimmer. She's very wide-shouldered. Now,
like I play these fantasies out to the end. I always play the tape to the end. It's like, oh, if I saw her on a beach, what happens next? Oh, we line up on opposite sides of the volleyball net. And she spikes one in my face. I don't like that.
No, sir, I don't like it.
No.
All right, and then remember how we talked about how you and I both had the album of the theme songs to 80s TV or 70s TV shows?
Yeah.
The 1989 swimsuit issue with Kathy Ireland is the one that I defiled myself to, like,
I was just going to say
1,000 times.
That's the winner.
Numerous times a day.
Still champion. Yep.
And that's the last one I paid attention to. In fairness to me, I was out on the swimsuit issue starting when I was 15. 1989 was the last year that I remember any of these covers. Because they jammed them all on the... with Rachel Hunter, who I was never a huge fan of either.
So the one you're looking at is 1990, Kathy Ireland.
Oh, 1990. So, yeah, 15. I was 15.
How is Kathy Ireland not on like a 3 or 4 year run after that cover in 1990?
Well, she came back in 94, if I remember.
I know, but it's like, how do you get away from Kathy Ireland after that yellow bikini? She's sitting on the rock. You can probably, if you ever looked at a Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, you know the photo we're talking.
Well, that's the last one I ever used. That's really the only issue that I really remember. Because again, I didn't really like Elle Macpherson. Okay, but now the question is a final one.
Okay,
I'm guessing the year that you tap out.
Okay.
Where it's no longer of interest to you. And I think that you are being tested, but then 1997, you're like, no more.
All right. So
Tyra Banks on the cover in 1997, you're like, this is when I don't like it anymore.
Still looking. I'm a big fan of 96, Daniela Pestova, because she's got a shirt on.
You like that.
All right.
Yeah. So she's blonde-haired, blue-eyed. And then the 1997 is a blonde lady in Tyra Banks, and they just seem more playful than anything. But then in 1998.
That's 97. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Tyra
so-
Banks and Valerie Amazza. Tyra Banks, beautiful.
Yeah, but 1998, the
Oh.
Tyra Banks cover, I think that's when you're out.
Yeah. So Tyra Banks, beautiful, but she's pulling her pants down like some kind of a common tramp. What are you do? What, are you trying to get naked on the cover? That's not allowed.
Well,
it's not sexy.
I'm a little proud of myself because starting in 2001, I don't even know who these women are. Like, I've never seen them before in my entire life. So good for me. I got out of the whole Sports Illustrated game starting then. Do you know Beyonce was on the cover of the swimsuit
Yeah, I just
issue?
saw that for the first time. I had no idea.
Yeah, they tried to get like almost a nude lady in 2008, but then it didn't pick up steam. Yeah, I've never heard of any of these women, except for, of course, Kate Upton. That I saw. But the horse had left the barn by that point.
Brooklyn Decker, wasn't she in a Sandler movie?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
All right.
You know? I mean, they put Gayle King on the cover, and she's basically wearing a pantsuit. Apparently in
She's got a
2025.
snowmobile suit on.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well,
Kate,
there you go.
Kate Upton. No, thank you. Get out of here.
I will pay you $10 to go put on more clothes.
You really don't. You really find Kate Upton to be unattractive.
She looks like she's always sweating. I don't know. She's just got too much to deal with there. I don't know what to do with all that. It's like a lot of work.
Too much buns.
too much everything.
Yeah.
Oh, the beauty and the curves. That's enough. I don't need all that.
Yeah, you don't
I
need
want all that.
You don't need two big breasts.
No.
What's the point of that? All right. Well,
Did you looking at the Gayle King cover?
yeah, I know.
She's
It's
just coming out
like-
of a spa.
I mean, like I just like pretending that it's like the same.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. No, she's my age and not particularly attractive. It's fine. So if you had to pick a decade, Hardy, what are you picking? As we try to find your proclivities, you've been married a very long time.
Yeah. I think it's the 80s, and it's not just the covers and the women of the 80s. I think it might have a little something to do with coming of age in the 80s, and it sparks something.
Yeah.
It triggers something.
It does.
That's the touchdown. So yeah, give me the 80s swimsuit issues.
All right, and of course, John is a fan of what was playing in the Nickelodeons as he was a child, as he would go and put a penny in the penny arcade,
watch the fan dance,
and watch the erotic burlesque of
Show
the
a
heavy
little
dancers.
leg. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, the very attractive burlesque dancers of the day that you look back on and you go, why did people want to be in that room, let alone pay to get in? Just with the pasties and the grossness. Yeah. Things have improved since the 1920s. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Tom Brady is headed to the Middle East. We were debating about this the other day, and some information has come out. We will have that in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports.
acceptance, respite, and care.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. You know, Tom Brady and other NFL players, so like Gronkowski's going. There are some current NFL players. I know Christian McCaffrey's going. I think Tyreek Hill might be going. Anyway, there's a bunch of players going to Saudi Arabia to play in a flag football game. And we were talking about what it would take, and I said, obviously they overwhelmed Tom Brady with money, and Hardy was it was a very strange hill. He was saying that he wanted to be. It was his competitiveness that was getting him into the flag football game.
I knew you were going to do this, so I need you to shush.
I wish we pulled audio.
Can
from
you
him.
shush? And you let me finish.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Our conversation, and I don't know where the $10 million figure came from, but that was the number we were working with, right? And they were giving him $10 million. Whether it was invented or reported somewhere, that's fine. You were trying to figure out why Tom Brady was doing it. And my argument was essentially twofold. Number one, that $10 million is a significant amount of money, even for Tom Brady.
And I argued that it was not.
Right. That was number one. But number two, even if you could make a case, I'm not doing it, even if I would, for $10 million, I wouldn't go over there and do it. There's still something about Tom Brady where he wants to compete. He wants to win at everything. And if he's being offered the opportunity to go play a very low-stakes game where he can show off a little bit and show the world that he can still throw the ball and he could play and get people talking about him and be in the conversation as something other than just a very average color analyst on Fox, that he would embrace that and he would want to do it for that reason too. The $10 million would be enough for most people, even Tom Brady, and yes, also for the spirit of the game, to borrow from another great sport of ultimate, spirit of the game.
Which was such a ridiculous position that he would care at all about a flag football game and the outcome of it in Saudi Arabia.
Deeply.
That I was just like trying to move on, and Hardy was getting offended at me for trying to move on because I was just like, "This is, what are we talking about here?" This is sports washing money by the Saudis. This is what they do.
And again, you trying to move on. You kept bringing it up, and then when I would try and make a point about it, you would say, "Oh, I don't even know why we're talking about." We're talking about it because you brought it up again. And when
for whatever reason, all I know is that my instinct was that I did not want to have the argument because it was just such a ridiculous argument.
Because you were losing it.
Well, let's see. Well, Carden, that used to be on WFAN, he's doing something or other. And here is what the reports are about Tom Brady going to Saudi Arabia, where he is going to play flag football, which Hardy says is I said, you guys would you go to Saudi Arabia and call this for $100,000? And I said, I don't think I would.
So just so we're clear on this, Beaton, is this the money reveal that we're about to listen to?
It's got to be the money reveal. There would be no other reason to play it.
No, it's not the money reveal. It's him talking about, would you do this if you were...
I don't care about that. I just want the money reveal.
All right, well, let's throw the money reveal in there real quick.
All right.
And once again, Fred, you didn't want to have the argument, but you kept bringing up the topic.
I don't. Sure, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, okay, whatever. The point is that you thought that whatever I kept bringing it up or not, you kept saying that he was doing it. This gaslighting you're doing is interesting. Sure, I brought it up a lot. Regardless, your point was that he was doing it.
Don't accuse me of gaslighting when I'm still not sure exactly what that means.
I'm starting to figure it out. And so...
because you're presented with so many examples of it on a daily basis.
Every week, we say it about 8 times.
Yeah,
None of us know what it means.
I think peppering me about something that's not the point is really gaslighting.
Here's how to get a firm grasp on gaslighting. Have someone gaslight you consistently, and then you get a pretty good handle on what it is.
Yeah, and to the point, it's happening so much in public now that I kind of understand it, and I know how to combat it. It's happening with the FCC stuff, and they'll go, well, this happened. You go, sure, great. all that happened. What's happening at this point right now is this. And then they'll go, no. This happened before. And you go, yeah. What's happening right now is this. Well, that's not happening because this happened before. No, the FCC is threatening to cancel mergers unless someone there is taken off the air that they don't like.
Yeah, but
that's
here's why it's your fault that it's happening.
Exactly. And then you're like, okay. Like, yeah, that's what it is. It's like, well, this is what happened before. Great. All that happened before.
I just got it. Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. I was gaslighting you.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. All right, now I get it.
Verbally beating him into submission.
I just explained that my own behavior in a way that I was like looking in a mirror. Okay,
Right.
now I get it.
I'll give you the FCC Kimmel thing is like an example of like deflecting, and you're just like, no, great. The world has existed for millennia. This is what's happening right now. Like if you can remove everything else and say that, there were Romans and Egyptians and everything else in the history of the world, the great civilizations. But at this moment in time, as of today, this is exactly what's happening. It's very hard to get someone to focus. So anyway, why is Tom Brady going to Saudi Arabia? I understood why everyone else was doing it, even Gronkowski, because they're not making hundreds of millions of dollars and part owners of teams. Like, to me, if I'm Tom Brady, money is pretty much just a conversation at this point. My family's taken care of for generations. We even went through the exercise of like how much money he would get if it was returning 4% a year. I mean, like it's just he has an unfathomable amount of money. So $10 million, I'm like, do I really want to go over all the way to Saudi Arabia and deal with it? I didn't say there was no amount of money that I would go over to Saudi Arabia for, but I did question the game being any part of it, that the actual competition was no part of it. Here is what Craig Carton had to say.
How much do you think it costs to get Tom Brady to play a single game of flag football in Saudi Arabia?
I know Michael Rubin's involved. They're friends, so I'm going to say about $5 million.
$5 million? That's crazy. That's high. $5 million for a single game of flag football?
I say that because Tom Brady makes a lot of money, so it would take a lot of money.
Right. Well, the answer is higher, Bob. You want to take another guess?
Bob's not too intelligent or aware of what's going on. That the Saudis have, you want to talk about unlimited money.
Yeah.
I believe that the Saudis, because of oil money, could afford to buy every professional sports franchise in the United States. In fact, there's restrictions put on teams so that can't happen. Live Golf is an example. These guys never wanted to leave the PGA. Hardy knows this. They didn't want to. That's what they grew up wanting to do. That was what the measuring stick was for everything. They had to throw such an unfathomable amount of money on them, and you'll go, oh, yeah. And so they're playing golf in anonymity outside of majors. No one watches Live Golf. People watch the Tiger Woods indoor golf thing and do not watch Live Golf. I don't know where it's on. I don't know how it exists. I've never come across it on television. I mean, I've seen D2 football games. I've seen, high school football games. I've never seen Live Golf ever on television. And believe me, I'm a loser. I'm home enough.
Sure. All right,
Good.
5. All right, let me go $12 million.
$12 million for a single game of flag football.
That's a lot of money, it feels like.
Oh, it's a lot of money for most people. Yeah, no. Higher, Bob.
All right. I'm going to double it and add a little more. I'm going to say $30 million.
Higher, Bob.
40.
Higher, Bob.
50.
Higher, Bob.
Carton's good, by the way. This is a good way to do it.
55.
Higher, Bob.
60.
Higher, Bob.
65.
Higher, Bob.
70.
Saudi Arabia is paying Tom Brady $75 million.
What?
To play a single game of flag football. And for those of you out there that are like, I can't believe Dustin Johnson said yes to Live. I can't believe Tom Brady and Saquon Barkley are going to take that dirty, filthy money. You would too.
I'm taking that money.
And my point, what I said on Friday, we all got a price.
Yeah.
Now, when you have a $375 million deal from Fox, I don't. Tom Brady does. Your number's a lot higher. Yeah. He's also a bit of a financial whore. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Now, I don't blame him for taking it.
Right.
$75 million
that's a lot
guaranteed in your bank account.
For one day?
For one game of flag football.
But it's for the love of the game. It's for the competition. And to still see that you still have it.
So if they offered
He denies this, by the way. He sort of backdoor denied it because Dave Portnoy from Barstool said the same thing. And then this was all going on Twitter, so I a little ignorant
what it's worth, yeah.
And then Tom Brady didn't deny it, but like made like a snide remark about it, like hinting at it not being true. It's absolutely true. $75 million, fine. You put me on a private plane, I show up, I literally walk off, because I told you I know these people, I don't know them well, but these people had Taylor Swift play their anniversary in Montana. They paid her like whatever amount of millions of dollars. She got off a plane, walked into the party, like did whatever for 15 minutes and left. So Tom Brady flying over on a private plane, getting off, doing whatever the hell exercise he has to do over there. It doesn't even matter if they play the thing. Like it's just like him calling the games for Fox. In my estimation, is really only half of it. It's Fox having him to like puppet around and go to like advertisers and stuff like that and have him sign footballs and throw them, like that kind of stuff. Like for $75 million, even if I have that contract from Fox, and even though this ethically isn't the greatest situation in the world, $75 million, if I'm Tom Brady, I'm doing that. So it's almost like I have to. The man has created travel so I can get to these places. But how long do you think he's in Saudi Arabia for? Because if I'm negotiating with him, I'm like, I'm not doing anything but playing in this game. Like, I'm not having dinner. I'm not going to, like, the mall. I'm not doing anything. Like, everything that we're going to do, and you've seen this. It just happened. Someone from Saudi Arabia just did something on the field. I can't remember who it was with, but they just did something with someone, like, on the field of a game. And so if I'm Tom Brady, I'm like, this is all happening on this field. I am doing this for this allotted period of time, and then I am free to go.
So it's in March. I would say he's probably going to be there. Long flight. He'll be on the ground in Saudi Arabia for 4 days.
Ooh,
I think that's pushing it.
I think that's really pushing it, because you have to remember that these guys don't care about the event. It's just the idea that they're sports washing the money and saying, look at who's coming into our country. They really just want pictures of it in like a little internet video.
I would say, though, once you're over there and you're being not just paid money, but hosted by these people, I'm guessing it's not a bad time. Like, whatever time you spent there is going to be some of the best time you spend all year long, no matter where you are.
But then it gets kind of, you're at their mercy. So I just can speak for myself. I would want this to be a very concrete situation where I am here. Here is how I am getting there and getting out of there. And here is where I'm going to be and for how long I'm going to be there. Like, no dinners, no like meet and greet, no anything. I'll take every picture you want and every video you want on this field. But from the minute that the clock strikes whatever time, I'm gone, and this is all been agreed to. And I want witnesses and everything else.
There's a dinner involved. There's a photo op, and then there's the game the next day. I'm going to say 48 hours.
Okay, because I would push back on that.
Maybe you would, but I think the Saudis are like, okay, we have to do.
But
this,
John,
this.
But the thing is that it's the greatest negotiation ever, because money is literally no object to them. It doesn't matter if it's 100 million or 75 million. It's just numbers. It's nothing. It's not even change. It means nothing to them. So you are in complete control of the situation. You land on 75 million. You say that's fine. Now my main concern would be, this is what's expected of me. I mean, if there's a dinner, it better be in the stadium. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not being carted around all over Saudi Arabia. So for $75 million, you're paying me this for this purpose of just me being in your country.
So. Just so you know, the amount of money that they're spending on stuff like this, I know, and we'll just get away from it here, but the numbers are staggering. When they started Live, they were talking about this $600-700 million public investment fund. As of earlier this year, reports were, due to their investments and the fact that it continues to grow, it's worth between $900 billion and $1.1 trillion is what they're sitting on right now. So $75 million out of $1 trillion. It's nothing.
Yeah, and the Live Golf just hemorrhages money. I mean, it's not
$1 trillion.
It's not, but it's not worth $1 trillion. It's the expenditures. I mean, they're not selling Live Golf. for $1 trillion. That's ridiculous.
No, they don't care about making money on any of this stuff. They don't need to make money.
And that's why Tom Brady is in that position. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox open up a 3-game series in Toronto with a 4-1 win over the Blue Jays, and as a result, they're 1 game up on the Tigers for the second wild card and 2 up on Houston with 5 games to go. Garrett Crochet will make his final regular season start tonight. Major League Baseball announced yesterday that starting next season, the automated ball strike system will be used. Teams will have 2 challenges a game. Patriots players will return to practice today. They host Carolina and Foxborough on Sunday. And the Bruins got an overtime goal from Nikita Zadorov. They beat the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden last night, 5-4. They're 1-1 in preseason play. They're off until Saturday afternoon when they visit Philadelphia. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Veterinary Urgent Care Center. With 8 locations in Massachusetts and Rhode Island, the UCC offers compassionate, convenient, high-quality care 7 days a week. Walk in or book an appointment at veturgentcare.com. Veterinary Urgent Care Center, urgent care for your pet's urgent needs. I'm John Wallach on Boston Told for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8 o'clock.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
puppetry.
You know.
We're the best friends you can be, my buddy and me.
Now,
Me.
more of your best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy, on the Sports Hub.
All right, at the end of this segment and at 9:40, we'll got a chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Patriots take on the Panthers this Sunday at Gillette Stadium, so be listening up. We'll do that before 8 o'clock. Bird sent this. We were talking about how money is of no object to the Saudis and how they're paying Brady $75 million to go over there and play flag football, reportedly. Listen to this story. Paris Saint-Germain, you'd recognize the guy. He's a black soccer player. His
Mbappe?
Mbappe.
Yep.
Kylian Mbappe. We're offering $1.1 billion to play soccer over there.
He turned it down, I think.
And he turned it down.
Yeah. Ronaldo went. He didn't.
Yeah.
I remember that.
$1.1 billion to play a sport. And that's why if I was Tom Brady, I would dictate my terms. And I think we finally have the definitive email on this subject. This is about gaslighting and false equivalency.
I can't believe you're going to get into this. I started getting an ice cream headache trying to read this.
I think that we're going to get into it because once and for all, I think this is it's a synthesized explanation of these two things. Freddie, you're killing me. Your FCC argument is not gaslighting. It's the logic fallacy known as false equivalence. Here's what gaslighting is. A psychological manipulation tactic where someone makes another person doubt their own perception, memory, or judgment. An example, if you confront a partner about hurtful behavior and they respond, that never happened, you're imagining things, they're trying to make you question your own reality. It undermines confidence in your own experiences. Now, this is false equivalence. A logical fallacy where two things are compared as if they are equal in weight, significance, or morality, when they are actually not. Example, saying forgetting to take out the trash is just as bad as lying about money equates to two very different actions. That is to shift blame, dismiss criticism, or win an argument without addressing the actual issue. Gaslighting attacks your perception of reality. You're wrong, that didn't happen. False equivalency distorts the comparison between two issues. Your mistake is the same as mine, so we're even. So false equivalence. I think I now get it. Gaslighting, you're telling someone that they're out of their mind. False equivalence, you're saying, but this happened. And you're saying, yeah, but I'm talking about this thing.
Yeah,
and they go, no,
better.
but this happened.
That fits it better. Yep.
Which is pretty much all political discourse now is false equivalence.
Yes.
It's a real mess. It's not a good time. It's all false equivalency. So now I feel like
false equivalency is what I refer to as whataboutism. Well, what about this? Well, that's got nothing to do with this.
Right. So you were doing
false equivalence.
Yeah, you were doing false equivalency when we were talking about the Brady thing just then, because you were going.
Oh, I think I was doing both.
Oh, were you gaslighting though? Because you were saying you kept bringing it up. Maybe that was gaslighting.
Did you ever doubt your own perception?
No.
So.
No, because
tried and failed.
No, he tried to gaslight me, but I was able to manage through it. But false equivalence.
Couldn't get that son of a bitch to spark.
I admire the effort, though. It was there.
He was trying very, very hard to get in there, but I would not bite. For so many years, I would bite. I finally think I've got my hands around this argument tactic.
But it took us 5 years to figure it out.
And I'll be using them both.
Yeah.
A lot.
Because that's why I'm so glad I don't do anything of any serious talking on social media, because my copying and pasting and in trying to make arguments with people, I would lose my mind. Nothing good happens on Twitter. I just don't know when public figures will realize that. Do you see what Oberman did?
Well, that's. I mean,
Keith
Olbermann's doing a category by himself.
Keith Olbermann's doing people a lot of favors.
Oh, boy.
Some guy said something gleeful about Jimmy Kimmel. Some radio guy said something gleeful about Jimmy Kimmel. So, which is dumb, because we're all, as broadcasters, we should all be against the Federal Communications Commission threatening licenses based on what we say. That's something that, or criticizing the government, that's just something that we should all, it should be just the issue that we're all like, okay, yeah, that probably shouldn't happen, regardless of who it is. Rush Limbaugh or Sean Hannity, whatever. I'm not for that in any case. So it just seems obvious, that would just be, it's a nonpartisan thing.
It's a self-preservation.
It's the most selfish thing that you could think.
Right.
Is that if you really want to get down to it. But Olbermann goes, "You're next, mother effer," which could be. So this guy retweets him, and it was kind of clever, and tags Kash Patel, the FBI director, who's on Twitter and active on Twitter.
Oh, good.
And so, but that could be looked upon. First of all, it's insane. You're insane, and like you're speaking for a political movement, like you're insane. And obviously, with everything that's just happened, that could be taken as a physical threat. So Olbermann's got to like post, "I didn't mean it in that way," and you're like, "Get out!" I mean,
well, Olbermann, like a decade ago, was just posting pictures of dogs that were about to be euthanized that he wanted to save, and then he found his political voice. Olbermann leans further left than anyone that you know.
No, he's a lunatic.
Yeah, but he started posting videos about how much he hated Trump and stuff.
But what I don't think, but like, what good is that doing, Keith? Like, who is that helping? You're out of your mind. You're spazzing out. Like,
he doesn't have
crazy.
a voice. He's been let go from how many different networks?
But I just think if you want something done, how is threatening this guy gonna? How is saying "you're next, mother effer" gonna? All it's gonna do is the guy's gonna go, "Hey, look at how insane these people are," and you're now a mouthpiece for for half the country. Get out of here, Olbermann, with your nuts. He's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, caller number
gaslighting.
Yeah, right. Caller number 10 in the contest line, 617-931-0985. Will score a pair of tickets to see the Patriots take on the Panthers this Sunday at Gillette Stadium. We'll be back in just a moment. Paul Finebomb is not crazy. He's the best. College. You have calls from his show.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox open up a big 3-game series in Toronto with a 4-1 win over the first-place Blue Jays last night. Carlos Narvaez's 2-run double in the 6th inning capped the 3-run rally, and Nathaniel Lowe drove in 2 runs as well.
Yeah, not that big, just a couple singles, but they count, so that's all that matters. We're happy to drive in some runs and get some offense going tonight.
Red Sox now lead Detroit by 1 game and Houston by 2 for the second wild card in the American League. All 3 teams have 5 games left. Garrett Crochet pitches in Toronto tonight. Patriots and Carolina Panthers will play in Foxborough Sunday. Both teams will be back out of practice today. The New York Giants yesterday announced that rookie Jackson Dart will be their starting quarterback moving forward. And Tampa wideout Mike Evans is now out 3 to 4 weeks with a sore hamstring. And the Bruins got 3 goals in the third period and a Nikita Zadorov goal in overtime. They beat the New York Rangers in preseason play 5-4. Bruins are 1-1 so far in games that don't count. The next one is in Philadelphia on Saturday. Sports Up headlines are brought to you by the Albrecht Auto Group, Zoe's Auto Dealer. Purchase any new vehicle from one of their 8 dealerships and get the Albrecht Advantage, a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty backed by Allstate Insurance. Connect with Albrecht at albrechtauto.com. I'm John Wallach of Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
This is what happens when analysts take over the games, take over the sport.
This is where you talk sports.
It happens all the time.
The Sports Hub.
And now, back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us and follow us at 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Paul Finebomb is a national treasure. He is now he's on television, but you might not see it. It's on one of the hidden ESPNs, but you can hear him in markets throughout the Southeast. Let's just be honest, the Southeast is where he thrives the most. And that's college football country. And all these people went to college, and they all are carrying diplomas. They matriculated on the campuses and exchanged ideas through all these great SEC universities. And they're almost exclusively SEC universities, where a lot of your children are going now because for some reason people from the Northeast desperately want to go to SEC schools now, which I kind of understand. I'd imagine the student population is much more attractive in either direction. I'd imagine that you're dealing with something much more attractive, certainly than the University of Michigan, which I can tell you, ugly. So let's be honest. Far too smart. Too high achievers. If you're achieving and working that hard as a 15-year-old, chances are you were not blessed with good looks. Because you would be able to skate through so much with good looks,
sure,
that you would not really apply yourself that much.
That's where all the people go to Michigan State, you see.
There's no doubt about it, at least 20 years ago, and it has to be true today, that if I dropped you on each campus, you would have a pretty factual, you'd walk away with a factual representation of the beauty of the student bodies. Yeah, Michigan State's way hotter. Because they weren't. Michigan's hard to get into. There's people all over the world that want to go to Michigan. High achievers.
Yeah, to study.
Yeah, Michigan State.
Doctors. And
Michigan
lawyers.
State. You cop a 3.0. I mean, I was waitlisted, but you cop a 3.0, you get into Michigan State. Like you're not a dummy, but you're not.
I wonder what it is. I wonder what it is now. Like Ohio State's hard to get into now, which it was not when you and I were.
I would imagine Michigan State's harder to get into now than it was. For whatever reason, I don't know. It seems like less people are going to college than when we were kids, but
it's the football schools that are the hardest to get into because they get all this free marketing for 3-4 months a year, and all these kids want to apply there, which is why it's hard to get into Colorado, which ain't exactly the Harvard or the Rockies. But
Colorado's always been an okay school. Like the thing that's weird is Alabama's hard to get into, or University of South Carolina. Like those were, like I have a friend who went to Alabama. He had a GED. And he went to Alabama. And he grew up in Milwaukee. And he had a GED. He had a friend that lived in Alabama. And he's like, you can go to Alabama. And he goes, what are you talking about? I dropped out of high school. He's like, oh, no. You can go to Alabama. I'm not making any of this up. His name's Nick. I've referenced him before. Yeah, he has a GED. He dropped out of high school and he went to Alabama. He's like 40 years old, so this wasn't a super long time ago. Go ahead.
According to the U.S. News and World Report, the acceptance rate for Michigan State 2024, 83.9%.
Okay, so it's not any harder to get in.
No, that's still pretty easy to
Pretty
get
easy
in.
to get in.
Well, the football's bad. That's why.
Okay.
But it's the second best public university in Michigan, and there's a lot of people in Michigan, so it's like, because it goes Michigan, Michigan State, Western Michigan, then Central, then everything's garbage. That's what it is for public universities. Now, Central's very brown, not in any skin color way. In the campus is just all brown. The buildings are brown. You know what I'm talking about, Hardy. The colors of the school are brown. Yeah. They're like brown and mustard. It's just the most depressing. Whoever designed it is a fool and colorblind. All right. So anyway, Paul Finebomb, he talks to all the hillbilly callers. He has great patience with them. The brilliance of Paul Finebomb is in the pauses. You hear that sometimes. It's in what's not said. Paul allows these people to go, and here's an example.
Hey, Chris.
Already Felger's off the phone. You know, like most sports radio guys are keeping things moving. But Finebomb doesn't care. He'll let it sit.
Hey, Chris.
Before I get started, I just want to thank you for taking my call on this glorious network.
Thank you.
My voice can travel restriction-free. And I just want to tell you, thank you and your producers. Thank you.
Well, there's many restrictions. I don't know what you're talking about, but there you go.
But, Paul, bear with me, Paul.
And restriction-free assumes that you're going to be able to talk for as long as you want. This is a soapbox for which you are not coming down. You are going to filibuster this phone call, it sounds like.
Because I'm kind of all mixed emotion. It's kind of like, man, I just got back from a funeral, Paul. We just buried our college football hopes for this season. I'm telling you, I'm sad. And I don't blame nobody. My Twitter been going crazy. It's been pretty funny. They've been blowing me up. I deserve every bit of it, Paul. I really do. I get on here. I'm a fanatic, Paul, when it comes to these Clemson Tigers. I haven't ate a whole meal since Sunday. Since Saturday night, I haven't ate. I'm hungry.
All right, he hadn't ate since Saturday night, wow. And you have to assume that's strictly on the University of or Clemson University. It can't be, blowing it all on meth.
I don't think he's doing an intermittent fasting.
No. I would assume that it's more of a hunter and gathering type thing.
I'm mad. I'm upset. I understand what you're saying, Paul, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. If you really think that it's over for Dabo Swinney, you dumb as Dwayne. Look, Paul, I'm telling you.
Now, I can't believe Paul let that go, that he's as dumb as Dwayne Bomp.
We're going to hear from Dwayne.
Yeah, I know. I know we'll get to it.
It might be over, it may be bad, Paul, but I remember that guy. I've been a Clemson fan since 1986. 1986. I've been through some, when I was a baby, when I was going through there, I've been through some 76 seasons. I've been through Tommy Bowden. Dabo, I remember the first time he ran down that hill with them tight khakis on full speed, Paul. I knew he had hope. The time I touched the top of his head in the pattern, I knew we had a coach.
Yeah, he touched the top of his head at one point. He got to touch the top of the head of the coach of Clemson. This is a perfectly sane individual. Walking among us.
Saturday night, I had an 8. I'm hungry.
He had an 8 since Saturday night, and he knew the time when he touched Dabo Swinney on the head that this was a good man. He could tell through the vibrations coming through his head. And then he stood on the dirt with bare feet and fixed his cells like Dan O'Shat's.
I haven't ate a whole meal. But what you said, Paul, made sense. Because I got to look at Nick Saban. He's seen it. He was there a long time. He's seen that he wasn't getting the same results, and he chose to move on. At least he didn't do like Steve Spurrier and quit in the middle of the season. And Dabo, I want you to listen to me. I want you to listen to me. For these 18 years, you've been preaching that it's a matter of pride. Y'all players, you listen up. It's a matter of pride. We're going to fight to the end of the season. I'm with you.
Hey, Chris, if I could I interrupt this? Chris, I'm going to interrupt you for a second. Okay, just stop talking for 1 second. And I understand your pain, but nobody cares what you're saying. You're not making any sense because you never make any sense, Chris. You say the same thing after every one. What, you have 4 losses last year. You've already had 3. You're a broken record, and unfortunately, Chris, nobody really cares.
Whoa.
I understand that part. It might not really care. They don't. They don't care. But I'm telling you, I've been with Dabo Swing. We ride together, we die together. Dabo Swing for life. Have a nice day, Paul.
Thank you. Listen, I think everybody ought to be entitled to speak, but when you're stuck on the same subject, if you're a fan, you have to be real. I understand being loyal. We're all loyal to whatever team we pull for, even blind loyal. But 3 losses in, you're still defending and without any context. That's absurd. That is really silly.
Whoa! Breaking news: Finebomb cut a guy off. And
Oh my God! He must have having a
told
bad
to
day.
shut up! You're not making
Jesus.
any sense.
You know how boring you have to be for Finebomb to like stop like having his tea to interrupt you?
Finebomb interrupts caller to tell him to shut up. He's not making sense.
Yes. And a guy who had the power of having touched Dabo Sweeney's head. That's a big power. All right, so he had referenced Dwayne. Now, in the ecosystem that is the Finebomb show, the callers reference each other. Paul will go to their funerals and things. And
Dwayne's one of the best. Dwayne gave us
what the buyout is.
Yes.
Dwayne knows how to make a call. Dwayne don't get cut off. Let's put it that way. And here is Dwayne calls into Paul Finebomb.
All right, man, my brother. I hate to say it, all right, man. Jack Arnold, he is garbage.
Yeah. Listen, we all watched The Wonder Years, and Kevin Arnold did become garbage.
He is garbage.
Yeah. He wasn't nice to his dad.
Mm-hmm. All right, man, my brother. I hate to say it, all right, man. Jack Arnold, he is garbage. I don't know why y'all signed that sucker.
Yeah, these are all words that Paul Finebomb conceivably understands.
He doesn't know why they signed that sucker. I don't know why you're having problems with it.
I couldn't. I had no idea that's what he was saying.
I don't know why y'all signed that sucker. I don't know why y'all got him, but he is garbage. Yeah, Paul. But Paul, that was a bad referee in that game. Yeah, that was a fumble. That Blaine scooped that ball up and ran for that touchdown. But Paul Finebomb, let me tell you something, my brother. The donkey of the day.
Now he's just quoting Whitman. In the dark of the day.
It's a donkey of the day.
Yeah, donkey of the day.
It's a.
No, it's the dark of the day. It's a poem by.
Oh,
Whitman.
I thought he was going more Larry Flint with providing a donkey of the day.
Yeah, he's a-hole of the month. Pat Robertson. Tee-hee.
Again.
The donkey of the day. The donkey of the day go out to Chris for Clemson. Paul.
You shouldn't be laughing at your friends, Dwayne.
The donkey of the day go out to Chris from Clemson.
That's right. He's got the biggest boobies in Clemson. I'll tell you this, is that I like that his radio's on in the background, too.
Yeah, I also like that he constantly calling him by name. Paul.
You there? I need a human connection.
He fired.
Finebomb's having a bad day.
Yeah.
He's having a bad day. You don't hear this much.
I'll tell you, the Southern school's not doing so great this year.
The donkey of the day go out to Chris from Clemson. Dabo Sweeney, huh? That's the donkey of the day. He gone. Hey, Paul, told you he gone, Paul.
He goes, Paul and
Paul.
Huh? You know what I'm saying, huh?
Paul.
Now, Paul, tell me you're still there. This guy can talk for as long as he wants, but poor Chris gets cut
especially
off.
when he brings his own content. It's like, 2 truths or 2 stats and a lie. He's bringing the...
That's the donkey of the day.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know where he thought of it. Maybe from the Breakfast Club.
He gone. Hey, Paul, told you he gone, Paul. Paul, he fired. Paul.
These guys all have tics, and you'll notice it with Finebomb callers, to buy time to get their thoughts in order, because there's so much between what they're thinking in their mouth that the process of getting it from their brain to their mouth, they need that like Beetlejuice pause. Who, me?
Huh?
Who? Who? Remember how Beetlejuice used to go, who, me?
Yeah, who, me?
Yeah,
Me?
you'd have to answer that. You would have to ask the question twice.
Paul, he fired. Hey, I like.
Hey. Hey.
Hey, what? Hey,
He's had-
Paul, I'm on the phone.
He has
I'm still here.
By the way, he's been doing this for a minute, and all he said is Dabo Sweeney's a donkey. And it's a minute of hey, Paul.
Not just any donkey.
That's the donkey of the day.
And him going like that fake maniacal laugh, like he's maniacally in his trailer, like planning his next football game he's gonna watch.
Hey, I like some of the recruits. I think they're gonna start decommitting, huh? What you say, Paul? The portal, huh? They're gonna start hitting the portal and decommit, huh?
And there's just radios playing in the background.
Yeah, go perfectly.
Yeah,
I mean, just about 1 second.
Yeah, if Finebomb's just like, let it play again.
And decommit, huh?
Listen, Dwayne, I have no idea what any young person is going to do, but until somebody signs nowadays in college football, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're right about that, but hey, I bet they're gonna hit the portal.
What?
Hey, they're going to hit the portal.
Yeah, it's the same thing. He said two things. In 2 minutes, he said two things. But Paul's there to guide him. Paul! Every 6 Pauls, like Beetlejuice, every 6 in the movie. Every 3 times he says Paul, Feinbaum has to go, yes. Like he summons him. Paul, yes. I summoned you. I have summoned you, Paul. I have gotten your spirit, just like I have not had the good fortune of touching the top of your head.
Paul? Yeah, you're right about that, but I bet they're gonna hit the portal. Hey, Chris, they're gonna hit the portal on you, Chris. The recruits y'all got gonna decommit, Chris. Hey, don't get out today. Go out to Big Chris from Clemson. Hey,
Now, that was a speak and spell that he had in the background. That was the chord that he was pulling, and it was... That was the last day of school for him, is when they told him what sound the donkey makes. The one toy he had as a child was the cord that would go around, and it would go, the cow goes moo. Now, Paul, you'll notice I am making the correct sound for the animal of which I speak. Why not go to Alabama when surrounding your campus are these wonderful inbreds that can just sit there and engage you in philosophical conversation? I don't know how you can hear this and take a job as a coach of an SEC school. Regardless of the amount of money that they pay you, this is who you're dealing with.
Yeah, but they treat you like a god if you win.
I don't know.
God.
Do you want to be the god of these people?
Apparently.
It seems like a
Worked
perilous
for Nick
situation.
Saban. Nick Saban for what, 15 years?
You trade lives with Nick Saban? No, thank you. Live on Tuscaloosa for 15 years and deal with that? No way. I don't care how many championships you win. He quit. He could have stayed. He quit. He couldn't take any more of these hicks. They were driving him insane. All right. Alex Barth is going to join us for a couple segments as we will dig into the Patriots and what is coming up this weekend. Now we have this. I got to figure out if this is the worst game of the weekend. Patriots-Panthers.
Oh,
I have to do the math in my head. It could be the Monday night Jets-Miami game.
yeah, I think that's
because
the winner.
They do have a game starting an hour after it starts. They have a 7 o'clock kickoff and then an 8 o'clock kickoff. Because they think that's probably not as much patience as people will have with the
Jets. That's number one.
That's the
donkey of the day.
Yeah,
I don't know. A 1 o'clock though. At least that's prime time. A 1 o'clock Panthers Patriots. That's no great. I mean, the Panthers are involved in this.
I know, but at least there are wins for both of those teams.
I mean, that would be part of your argument, and it's not a clear cut thing, but there is an argument to be made. All right, we'll be back in just one moment.
with you so you can hear more of Toucher and Hardy
That's what I want on my tombstone.
on the Sports Hub.
We're going to need him. We're going to need everybody. We've got talent, skill set. He's a good protector. We trust him in protection. We'll get through this, and I think a lot of it is just the consistency and continuing to build confidence. But you have to go out there and do it. How I manage that from an accountability standpoint, I would say as of now, I don't know what that'll look like later on the week as far as how we distribute the reps.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. Alex Barth covers all things sports for 98.5thesportshub.com, but his true love is the NFL and the New England Patriots. Alex, you're in studio. Thank you for joining us.
I am. I made it in this time.
Yeah, the traffic was okay.
Yeah, I came a lot. I left a lot earlier.
Okay.
Smart move. Can you call
Well, he took
Bert
what they were
Breer?
advertising.
Can you call Bert Breer for us and introduce this concept to him?
All right. Alex, so takeaways from the loss to the Steelers. Let's start with the headline, Ramondre Stevenson, the fumbling problem. There's talk of Vrabel has to button things up, the bad penalties, the fumbles. So you have to make a statement. You're not going to change a culture in 3 games. You're not going to change a culture in one off season. But if a culture changes what you're going after, how do you handle the Stevens situation, in your opinion?
It's tricky because it's not as simple as the fumbles, and I wrote about this a little bit in the Patriots mailbag that I posted this morning on 98.5thesportshub.com. He's also been one of their few, you want to call explosive players. They have 7 gains of more than 20 yards this season. He has 3 of them. You look at what he was doing in that game before the second fumble. They convert 3 3rd and 10 or longers on that big drive at the end of the first half. He converted a couple of them, and then one was, I think, 3rd and 12, where he gets 11, and then that was the one where they went for it, backed all the way up in their own end, which he also converted. So Travion Henderson, the wheels are still spinning a little bit. He still looks a little bit like a rookie. Antonio Gibson fumbled as well. So, look, you can't have a guy out there that's going to be putting the ball on the ground once or twice a game. You can't have that. But at the same time, and you saw it in Miami, he does add a dynamic to their offense that they're struggling to find right now. When Mike Vrabel said after the game, we're going to need him, he's not wrong. They are going to need him. The question is, how do you balance what he gives you with the fumbling issues? He clearly needs to touch the ball less, but right now, unless Travion Henderson gets it going, the dynamic he brings is important.
I guess I'm just not seeing it. And, I'll take your word for it, but when I think, you don't have a ton to choose from, but when you think about dynamic, explosive offensive plays that the Patriots have put up just in these first 3 games, I first think about Hunter Henry. I think about Keyshawn Boutte. I think about Drake May picking up yards with his own feet. Ramondre Stevenson is like 4th, 5th on the list. I'm not recalling him being like instrumental or having those big impact plays.
So part of it is he hasn't scored a touchdown yet. Like, there's been big gains, but they haven't ended up in the end zone. The 55-yarder against Miami, right? That's not a score. That sets up a score. It's not a score. And the ones against Pittsburgh, literally, I'm writing down. During the game, I have a piece of scratch paper that I'm just writing ideas down on as I go. And I'm like, Ramondre converting big 3rd downs, look up and he fumbled. And I go cross that out. And I'm like, all right, there's a different story for him now. It kind of changes the tone. Some of it is, too, to what you said. There's not a lot to pick from. Ideally, you have other guys step up and step into those more explosive roles, and that's where we can get into, or what are they going to do at the wide receiver position? Do we maybe start to see some more of Kyle Williams? And then you don't have to worry about getting that kind of play as much from your running back.
Well, my question is this. First of all, the fumbles negate everything. If you fumble on the goal line, it negates any yardage that you pick up. And my question would be this. If he got hurt, say he got hurt, say he plays this weekend and he gets hurt, like, are you right? Like, how, like, is that, in your view, something that they could not overcome? That is going to result in more losses than wins? Or is what they have or a replacement equivalency, while maybe, not having a couple of those runs, but able to hang on to the ball, how much are they losing there? How much better is he than a replacement back?
So right now, when you look at what they have, again, Antonio Gibson fumbled too. I think Gibson's been good.
I realize that. I know Gibson has a fumbling problem, but Ramondre Stevenson is then cut Gibson. I don't know.
So I would think give Antonio Gibson a bigger role. That would be my answer. You can't take Stevenson out of the game entirely, but I would think give Gibson a bigger role. But if the issue is fumbles, you have to worry about that there as well. Really, the guy you want to step up here is Travion Henderson.
Right.
But He led the team in touches last week, and he only averaged 3.3 yards per touch. That's not enough, especially on the ground. He's still not seeing
What are you seeing there? Because running backs are not on a learning curve. Out of all the positions, running backs should be able to come in and make an impact. We've seen it a bunch of times.
Sure.
What's he? I know he's bad in. I've been told he's bad in blitz pickup and things like that. But why has he been ineffective with the ball in his hands so far?
I think it's less of a learning curve. It's not no learning curve, especially just learning.
But
a new
as
offense.
positions in the NFL go,
Sure.
running back is something that you are, because your career is going to be so short. You're expected to be effective right away. Like you it's not something where it's not a quarterback or even a corner. It's not a left tackle. It's like it's a position that you should contribute right away. People draft running backs to start as rookies on good teams. So, the Lions did. Genty's supposed to start. He's not been effective, but he's starting right away. What's Travion Henderson doing that's leading to this?
And just to that point, by the way, Fred, the 3 worst rushing offenses in the NFL, according to some metrics, all drafted a running back in the top 40 in April. So I think with Henderson, I don't know exactly what he's either running to contact too much, trying to create contact, or he's not seeing things right and not picking up the hole right, but he's just kind of running to areas where there's no space. And that could be a number of different things. But when you saw in the preseason, I think something he had such a good knack at and something he did well in college was it's not just that he's fast. It's knowing how to use his speed and, okay, be patient here, slow down, get the hole, hit it, and then explode. And it just feels like he's going 100% all the time now, and he's just trying to hit the line and create contact and run through that, and that's just not how he plays. So whether it's him just need to see it better or get a better feel for it, and we know he can do it because he did it in the preseason, that's the big roadblock for him right now for me.
Ultimately, I'm wondering in the passing game, which would help the running game, Pop Douglas has not gotten off to the start everyone would have wanted.
We'll start there. Pop Douglas has been advertised his whole career now as someone with the potential to break out. It is yet to happen.
We were told by a couple of people, Andrew Callahan and Mike Reese, that it's all about the sets they have out on the field. He's just not playing as much. But even when he is playing, he's not creating the impact that most of us thought a slot receiver would in Josh McDaniels' offense.
Yeah, so what do you think his ceiling is? Like, what's a realistic expectation for him?
So everybody puts him in that slot role, but in the McDaniels offense, the role that everybody thinks of, the Edelman role, right? It's actually Stephon Diggs more so in that role right now than Pop. Pop is more in the Danny Amendola, Chris Hogan role. It's kind of a hybrid of those two. So for me, what a successful season would be for him, it's not so much 100 catches. It's, is he moving the chains? Is he picking up explosive plays? He's a guy I wanted to see them send more vertically, like up the field, and they haven't done a ton of that.
People either didn't want to admit it at the time because it wasn't sexy or it just wasn't all that prevalent. But Chris Hogan was like the closest thing they had to that deep threat for a while. He wasn't a slot guy. He may have looked like it. You may have wanted him to be in there because he kind of looked like a slot receiver.
Checked a couple boxes. But
what are you referring to?
But no,
was he scrappy?
yeah,
exactly right.
But I get I get what you're saying in that for Pop Douglas,
right?
He would take that role. And again, even Pop Douglas doesn't seem to be that deep downfield threat. But if you're going to need one, and if Diggs is already occupying that slot receiver role, okay, Pop, that's what you're going to need to be for us.
Right, and there's opportunities to build off of that. He doesn't have to go exclusively vertical, but now you get press coverage off of him. Teams have to respect him running deep, and now he's got a ton more room to operate underneath, and they don't have a ton of like high-level straight-line speed on this offense. It's basically Pop Douglas, Travion Henderson, and Kyle Williams. So I think they need a speed element. That's why I was somebody who was really high on Pop. I thought he was, the best opportunity to get that involved quickly. But if him and Drake May can't get on the same page, you might have to go somewhere else. And is that where Kyle Williams starts to become a bigger part of the equation?
And I wanted to follow up on Stephon Diggs, who hasn't really exploded like we had all hoped he would. I mean, he is supposed to be the number one wide receiver. I think he's averaging under 10 yards a catch. Is it because of the knee? Is it because of the offense? What are you seeing?
So the knee's got to be part of it. Like he was so far ahead of schedule in getting back on the field for where he was off that ACL. There's a difference between getting back on the field and being cleared and being 100%. And I wonder if he's still kind of working his way back into it. Some of it is, too, I think the way they're running the offense, he is I wrote this yesterday, I'm trying to remember the numbers. He has the most catches and the second most yards among all wide receivers on the team. Or it's the other first and second the other way around. But, like, he's been basically their most involved wide receiver. Drake May is just a lot more comfortable right now throwing to running backs and tight ends. So I think it's more the context of that.
This is more of a positive, even though it sounds like a negative. Look, Drake May looks like he can play quarterback in the NFL, and that's great. We've talked about Pop Douglas. We talked about Ramondre Stevenson. We talked about Travion Henderson. Just in terms of talent now that you've had 3 games in, take May out of the equation. Realistically, where does the level of talent on this offense stand in relation to the rest of the NFL? Like, how realistic is it for this offense to be, really successful with the people they have?
I think it's better than it's been. I still think they're probably, bottom half. Some of it depends on the rookies. If Travion Henderson gets going and Kyle Williams can get going, that's going to raise the level a lot. But for where they're at right now, I think it's still a group that you're probably looking for Drake May to carry more so than not.
Right. And so that should lead to hope because the offense is moving the ball. And you would think that with each successive season, now that you have your quarterback in place, that you add talent, and now you're talking about something. Go ahead.
It's interesting because we talked about this after game 1. It's all how you looked at this team entering the season. The 9, 10, and you heard 11 win folks at the beginning of the season look at this and go, oh, my God, what a massive disappointment. They're not anywhere close to where we thought they would be. But I think everyone in this room thought all those people were nuts. We thought 6 or 7 wins at the beginning of the season. I'm looking at the offensive line, the 2 rookies on the left-hand side, they're holding up. Yep. I'm looking at Drake May coming into his own. I mean, there are some foundational pieces being built here for the next 3, 4, 5 years. There's hope where there wasn't any the last 2 seasons.
At key positions, too,
Yes.
because if you're a team and you have, like, a great corner and a great wide receiver, but you don't have a quarterback or a left tackle, like, you're screwed. Like, if you don't, they're in a position where they can realistically add, not throw, the darts at a free agency board. They can realistically add talent to this team through the draft and, exponentially improve every season.
There are some young defensive backs that have been better than more good than bad. I mean, there's some stuff here. I think, Alex, we can all agree the last 2 years there was no stuff anywhere.
There wasn't a lot. And I think part of that conversation, too, that's so important is it's not a mountain anymore of their to-do list isn't so long that some of these guys, maybe they're not that, apex big play threat, star receiver or whatever, but Kayshon Boutte's developing into a nice complementary wide receiver. We've known Hunter Henry's a good player, but he's continuing to do it, as he hits 30 years old. We'll see what some of those rookies become, but it's like they don't need to overhaul everything. They kind of have the secondary guys, it feels like, maybe in place. It's just, can you go get that guy at the top of the depth chart that's going to dictate what the defense does and slot everybody else into a more appropriate
And
role?
that's why I'm so interested in, like, where you think of Pop Douglas stands and Booty stands, because that's what I'm doing in my own head is I'm thinking, okay, where are these guys going to slot in on a good team, right?
Right.
Like, so is Pop Douglas a weapon on a good team? Or is he, it just turns out like he's not going to be a factor. I mean, that's what you're looking at right now. Like, this isn't your Super Bowl team, but what pieces of this team could be on a team that could be and contribute to a team that competes for a Super Bowl? What pieces are going to stick around during the rebuild? And I think it's been very encouraging. I'm of the mind that if you turn the ball over 5 times in a game and lose by a touchdown, that's a bit of a moral victory. I know people hate the moral victories, but you're not going to turn the ball over 5 times in every game. You stick around with a team that made the playoffs last year, turn the ball over 5 times. You're not a disaster, and that team didn't quit. So I looked at that game and I thought, big deal, win or lose this year. But
they're in games.
They're in games.
I mean, you're not in the first half. You're not dreading the last 2.5 quarters of games.
It's not a job to watch the second half.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's not a
Yes.
slog anymore. I mean, the expectations, John said it well, is just when we're expecting this team to win 11 games and challenge for the division.
Yeah.
Was, as writers were saying, challenge for the division against Buffalo.
Would you have him pick that, Barth?
I had him at 8 or 9 wins.
That's not crazy.
A little ambitious.
9 is very ambitious. They could win 8 games.
I said that they'd be playing meaningful football in December.
Which is all we wanted.
That's all we want.
That's all we wanted.
Let's do that.
Right. Okay. We'll be back with more of Alex in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Sports Hub.
I've dug around on this the last couple of weeks, and what I found is there wasn't a setback, which I think almost makes it worse. And I know their full expectation when he got hurt at the end of July was that he was going to be ready for week 1. I don't think there's a ton of ill will. I do think there's frustration. I think there's a natural piece to this that comes in the NFL when a player is on the edge of becoming very, very wealthy. It's just sort of the price that the owners pay for the rules being the way they are, where it's you can't pay somebody until after 3 years. Well, that becomes a line of demarcation for the elite players. I need to get to that finish line so I can get paid. And so I think it'd be silly not to look at that as at least something that would be in the back of everybody's mind.
All right, that is Bert Breer. We have Alex Barth in studio with us today. He of 98.5thesportshub.com, covering the Patriots this season. What do you think's the worst game, Patriots, Carolina, or Jets, Miami?
So, okay, I made a list. I think there's a couple this week that are contenders.
Okay, let's go.
So, Patriots, Panthers, I think, is on there. Jets, Dolphins. That other Monday night game, Bengals, Broncos. The Bengals have a backup quarterback. Bo Nix looks like a backup quarterback. How great is that game? And
okay, but here's what I'll give the Cincinnati-Denver game, is that Denver could be a playoff team, and Cincinnati should have been a playoff team, so, their demise is kind of interesting to watch. There is, at least a story there. New York, Miami are two loser franchises. Carolina, New England is a real stinker.
So I think what do you consider a bad game, right? Because Jets, Dolphins, you're right, it's two stinkers, but we saw it with Bills, Dolphins last week. Those divisional games usually are close.
Yes.
And even if it's bad teams, you might get a good ending compared to the other one I had on my list. Bills, Saints might be over 5 minutes in.
Yes.
Yes, there's a lot of talent on Buffalo's side, but as an entertainment product, what are you getting out of that game?
They may not be playing in the second half.
Well,
right, running clock, exactly.
Cleveland, so Cleveland beat the Packers. Cleveland beat the Packers. That would be like New Orleans beating the Bills.
What about Tennessee and Houston, 2 0-3 teams?
I had that on there, too, because C.J. Stroud has not looked good.
Oh, yeah, Tennessee and Houston's pretty bad. Because all the arguments you could make for Houston, you could make for the big one you could make for New England is young quarterback.
Yeah.
But Houston falling apart might be an interesting story. That's not a good game. That's a bad game. We're really splitting hairs.
So it's what do you consider the least entertaining, the least competitive, the least amount of talent?
Well, you guys know if you have the ability to see all the games, there are certain games that you'll put on and it just looks like, ugh.
Yeah.
And anything in New Orleans right now, if you put it on, just the Dome at noon in New Orleans is just. There's this air of sadness to it.
But the other part of it is there's a clear line between the haves and have-nots. We were talking about the Monday night game and comparing that to the way the Patriots play, and it's night and day.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of teams you can lump into that Patriot category. You have 4, 5, 6 teams that are playing elite football. It just looks way different.
Well, any Baltimore or Detroit game is going to inconceivably be entertaining based on those two offenses and what they do. Buffalo, you get to see Josh Allen, so that's going to be an entertaining thing. But there are some games that are just, if you go around, even when you see the game on YouTube and you can click on it, you're I can't imagine. Anything the Falcons are involved in. It's just...
Penix had one of the worst games I've ever seen.
Well, Penix, it's good that you brought it in. So Penix was very bad. Alex Barth loved Penix coming out of that draft. He loved him.
Patriots should have drafted him.
Listen, him and Felger were very high on Penix. I took a mental note of that.
Right.
But no, in all seriousness, Carolina killed Atlanta last week. They're coming into Foxborough. What's going on with Carolina? They're a bad team. They won big, but what do you see in Carolina?
Yeah, I think they ran into a Falcons team and Michael Penix having a rough day. They're kind of in a similar spot to the Patriots, like we just talked about on the air in a little bit during the break. They're starting to put some of those foundational pieces in. Bryce Young, I thought, had a really good second half of last season, and it's okay. Is this him figuring it out? Is he going to start to take off? And it's been mixed results to start this year for him, so I'm really interested to see, Ted McMillan, right? That's another guy, if we want to go back to old draft takes. Do you draft the tackle? Do you draft the wide receiver? How do you help out your quarterback? And they obviously went with the tackle and Will Campbell over Ted McMillan, but McMillan's been good for Carolina. Jalen Coker, another good young receiver. They have a Holy Cross guy. So for the Patriots secondary, we'll see if they get Christian Gonzalez back. I think this is they're good players, but they're young players. And can this veteran secondary kind of put them away and make Bryce Young really have to make plays to win this game?
Okay, so you think they get Christian Gonzalez back. What's been going on with him, number one? And number two, were you surprised that he didn't play at all last week?
Yeah, a little bit. So the thing from Bert last night about there not being a setback, that was a little bit surprising to hear just because of that initial timeline of him not that was reported that the expectation was that he would be back for week 1. My guess is they want to be careful, and if you bring him back at 80% and now he misses 6 more games or there's some further injury to it, is it really worth, Fred, to your point about the game on Sunday, win or loss, you're more so looking for what does the future have forward. You lose your all-pro corner for more time than you need in a game like that you're approaching like that. How's that going to feel? You still want him on the field. The thing I'll say about the contract and all of that, and this is just my opinion, I almost feel like missing, in terms of how much money he's going to make, I think missing time might be more costly for Christian Gonzalez than if he goes out there and he's like good, but not quite the player he was last year. Sauce Gardner had a down year last year.
He wouldn't tackle because he wanted the contract. He didn't want to get hurt.
And he still got the contract.
And he still got the
a record contract.
Yeah.
So I think what's going to scare people more, all right, he was an all-pro 1 year, and he was like still, obviously, if Gonzalez comes out and he's not good, that's another story. But if he can be 80, 85% of the player he was last year, teams are going to look at that and say, okay, he was an all-pro, he was still really good, at a premium position, this guy's going to get paid. The thing, and this is just me, like, thinking out loud, but if they look at him and say, well, this guy's missed a lot of time due to injury, he's elite when he's out there, I almost feel like that might hurt his bottom line more.
I agree. And I also think that if you get the reputation of sitting out and avoiding game time because of things that you might be able to play through, that's something that unilaterally every coach is going to not want.
Right.
The
It would
coach,
be one thing if he was eligible to be paid right now, but he's not.
Right. And that's the thing is that GMs might be able to overlook a thing like that, but that sounds like something that there's an argument about. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if this guy's going to play for me. And we've given this amount of the cap to this guy, and that would be, I agree with you, Alex. I think playing and being a little less effective is far greater for the bottom line than not playing at all. And you saw it with Sauce Gardner. He refused to tackle. He got pissed at Ulbrich when he brought it up in a meeting. I guess they showed a video of him just olaying a bunch of guys, and he got pissed at him, and the Jets still gave him a big deal because they figured maybe you'll tackle this year, which is on the fence. It remains to be seen.
How much Ramondre are we going to see on Sunday? Any?
Not zero. I think you're going to see him a little bit. I was thinking they might bring a back in this week, and they still can, I guess. They have an open roster spot. It's only Wednesday. But they only have 3 backs. And again, it's just the offense gets a little stagnant when he's not on the field. And you might look at that and say, well, stagnant's better than turning the ball over, which is true. But you also can't operate when you're stagnant. Now you get back to where they were last year and just 3 and out after 3 and out after 3 and out. So I think that's probably somewhere they pick their spots, certain situations, certain matchups, and try to get him to give them a little bit of a boost without exposing him too much. But, whenever he gets the ball, he's probably going to have a good amount of yards after contact this week because the Panthers are not going to be in a rush to bring him down. They're going to be standing him up and knocking at the ball and trying to get him out because that's the book on him now.
Yeah. And then, you can see guys pick up yards after contact because everyone's trying to punch the ball out.
Knock the ball, punch the ball out. You guys are giving it too much credit. So wipe your hand across the ball, and it'll come out.
That was the thing about the 2 fumbles this week is it's not like the Gibson fumble. Jabril Peppers makes a really good play. Still hold on to the ball, but credit to Jabril Peppers there. The Stevenson ones, he's like both of them. He's basically like through the line, and then he kind of gets grabbed from behind, and the ball pops out. Those were not.
Yeah, the goal line one was a second effort. You should be aware that it's more important to hang on to the ball than get that extra half yard. Like if you're reaching over the goal line on a 4th down, right? Like, okay, fine, I'm going to lose the fumble. I got to get it tight. But if it's not 4th down, you hang on to that football.
He's going to have to go Tiki Barber. He's going to have to switch to high and tight. High and tight.
I don't know how they hang on to the ball with one arm. I mean, dudes come up and just fly into you, literally punching at the ball.
3 guys grabbing at you as hard as they can.
I mean, the grabbing is a strength thing, but like having the ball secured and have someone literally punch the ball while you have it in your arm is just a matter of physics at a certain point. I've seen fumbles this year. I'm like, I can't blame the guy for fumbling. Ramondre Stevenson, as Alex pointed out, not that guy.
Yeah.
Ramondre Stevenson, especially at the goal line, you got to have the presence of mind to know the situation and go like, is it really that important that we score on this particular play? That, it's more important that I hang on the ball. At that point, you're jeopardizing possession of the ball. That's just a fact. Alex Barth, 985thesportshub.com. He's tremendous. Thank you so much for the time. Thank you so much for coming in. Everyone read all about it. 985thesportshub.com. Where on social media? They seem big on that, too. Where are you?
We're Real Alex Barth.
Real Alex Barth on social media. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and
Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox got 2 RBIs apiece from Nathaniel Lowe and Carlos Narvaez and opened up a 3-game series in Toronto with a 4-1 win over the Blue Jays. Lucas Giolito and 4 relievers combined on a 3-hitter as well. And after a Detroit loss to Cleveland and a Houston loss in Sacramento, the Sox are now a game up on the Tigers for the second wild card and 2 up on Houston. All 3 teams have 5 games left. Garrett Crochet pitches in Toronto tonight. Major League Baseball announced yesterday that starting next season, the automatic ball strike system will be used. Teams will have 2 challenges a game, and only the batter, pitcher, and catcher can initiate a challenge. Patriots players return to practice today. They host Carolina in Foxborough on Sunday, and the Bruins got a goal from Nikita Zadorov in overtime. They beat the New York Rangers last night 5-4. Michael Eyssimont had 2 goals and an assist as well in the win. The Bruins' next preseason game is in Philadelphia on Saturday. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the $14.99 Big Deal Meals at the 99, like the crispy fried twin catch with North Atlantic cod and crispy shrimp. Available every Monday through Wednesday for just $14.99. You gotta love the 9s. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
High wrist shot.
The Bruins.
Rebound score!
Play here, the Sports Hub.
Fred, what's it like to work with Hardy and Wallach?
What a golden ticket I've gotten.
There you have it. Toucher and Hardy resumes on the...
Come join the Joyride. Who did Joyride? They were Swedish or something?
Roxette.
Yeah, that's something that you look back on and you go like, we're old. Like the idea that was on TV.
They still pop up on the MTV Classic
Oh, they
in
do.
the conference room. Yeah.
Got the look. You can do both. Yeah.
The key just changed, though, Hardy. Be careful.
All right. John was just talking about it. Your Boston Red Sox in a very good position right now. You have a situation in Detroit that's almost unfathomable. A team with what did they have, a 12-game lead?
They were 12 and a half games up on Cleveland less than a month ago. A month ago tomorrow, they were up 12 and a half games, and this morning they're tied.
Right. And so you had Skubal pitch for them last night, and he completely they lost it. They didn't support him. He hit someone in the face that was with a 99-mile-an-hour fastball who squared around the bunt. I'm not quite sure how that ball hit him in the face. I don't know how your instant reaction, if both eyes were faced. For Skubal, I feel really bad for the guy who got hit. It just was an odd thing. You're squared the bunt. The ball's coming, a fastball's coming at you. You would think that your initial reaction would be like, oh, no, I'm going to crouch down and have this hit me in the top of the helmet, which is why I'm wearing a helmet. And half these guys all have body armor on now. So let it hit you in the, raise your shoulder. Let it hit you in the shoulder pad.
Yeah.
You got 10 tons of equipment on that you got to take off every time you get walked. But,
Yeah, it's a good point. Like in the head off the helmet or something, if you're trying to duck down and miss it, but just seems like he had at least a fraction of a second to just lift up a little bit.
Well, they hit 99-mile-an-hour fastballs. Like they can hit them 400 feet. Like their hand-eye coordination.
You can react to it.
Yeah, the reaction of getting the barrel of a ball on a moving object the size of a baseball going that fast is much more difficult than turning your back.
He's got better hand-eye than he has face-eye.
Right.
Bad face-eye coordination.
Not only are you taught, but also instinctually you would turn your back, right? Like you're taught to turn your back and to get hit in the back,
right?
Which is unpleasant, but I've seen 15-year-olds get hit with 90-mile-an-hour fastballs in the back and be fine. So, don't get hit in the face. But that is neither here nor there. So now it is a situation where the Tigers lose the tiebreaker, so they are the last wild card. And Cleveland would have won the division.
They're 1 game up on Houston, who also lost last night in Sacramento.
So Houston's a disaster too, but not quite the disaster of the Tigers. So if the Yankees clinched last night, so if you're the Red Sox, you basically you play Detroit at the end of the season, and that's going to be a very meaningful series for Detroit.
So if this stays the way it is and Cleveland wins the division and the Tigers are the wild card, the number 3 wild card, the Red Sox have the tiebreaker on Houston, but it's interesting this weekend. These two teams, Detroit and the Red Sox, play each other 6 times. These are the last 3 games. Detroit swept the earlier 3-game series. So for the Red Sox to have a chance at the tiebreaker, they have to sweep the Tigers this weekend.
So it's essentially it could, depending on how the Tigers play, if the Tigers can squeak out a win or 2 in Cleveland, it could be, and the Astros heat up a little bit, it could be essentially the beginning of the playoffs. When Detroit comes to town, that could be a early playoff series, basically.
You want to guess who the Red Sox have to pitch in those 3 games?
I'm guessing it's Crochet goes tonight, so he's pitching.
Done.
Yeah, he's
not
done.
pitching.
No,
and neither is Bale, who goes tomorrow.
Bale goes
Does
tomorrow.
Giolito go at the end?
Yeah,
He would go
Giolito
Sunday.
Would go Sunday.
He would Sunday. So you have Kyle Harrison, at least that's the way it looks right now. Kyle Harrison, the guy you got in the Devers trade, who has made how many starts for you this season? 1, and it just happened in Tampa last weekend. And Connolly Early, he's going to go on Saturday.
The kid. Yeah.
That would be his 4th major league start.
Well, the Tigers can't score, so if that's the team I want to go up against right now.
Just forgotten how to play baseball.
No, they can't. They are unless they play the Yankees and they get a kid in there that's throwing over everyone's head and they can walk in 10 runs. That's how they win games now.
So the Red
I've
Sox,
been keeping an eye on them, and it has not been good.
No.
The games they've won, they've been handed.
This is an unprecedented collapse. I mean, a lot of people point back to 78. Red Sox blew a 14.5 game lead in July. This is different. They didn't blow it in 1 month.
It's almost like water finding its level, though, because Detroit was terrible all season last year. They got hot at the end. They snuck into the playoffs. They beat Houston in the playoffs. Then this year they start off red hot, and it's almost like coming down to the mean. Like, if you look at the talent on that roster, that's not talented. They shouldn't be in any conversation for, having a high playoff spot.
Sure.
They're just not overly talented. They whiffed on a bunch of picks. But
which is why we go back to the American League is wide open.
Yeah, there's no one in the American League that I look at and go, that's an impossible scenario. The Central, we've just been over. You've beat Toronto last night. You've had some success against the Yankees. Seattle doesn't scare me.
Toronto is the number 1 seed in the American League this morning.
Yes,
and they take a look at that lineup. They don't have much. And they don't have a bona fide ace. Gosman, the guy who pitched last night, is the closest thing to it. I mean, that team is beatable, regardless of who has home field advantage.
Yes. Every team that you could face is beatable. There is no team in the American League that's a great team. Now, the National League, you have a ton of competition. The National League is far superior. But, yeah, the Red Sox get in the playoffs. There's no reason that they shouldn't make some noise. They're no better or no worse, really, than anyone else. You got 2 guys that you're very confident in at the top of your rotation, and then you go from there.
You have a dynamite. You have a great bullpen, great 8th inning guy, great 9th inning guy, and 2 dominant starters. Well, I don't know if you count Bayo in that, but you have one dominant starter and one very good starter.
Right.
I mean, you have as good a chance as anybody else if you can get in and make it out of that first round, that best of 3. You have a great chance, as good a chance as anybody else.
Yeah, you have a chance. I don't know if you have just as good a chance as anyone else.
You're pitching in the playoffs. Your pitching lines up with anybody in the American League. In the American League, as I just said, Toronto doesn't have a dominant starter. The Yankees have one really good starter.
Detroit has one really good starter.
Detroit has one really good starter. But your bullpen, your 8th and 9th inning guys, they're just as good as anybody else.
Is that your primary concern, though?
In a playoff situation, yeah.
The back of your bullpen in a playoff situation is very important.
I'm just still worried about being able to get enough bats in there that are.
Well, no, they're not. No one's saying Red Sox are good.
They're not dominant by any means. What I'm saying is, in a down year, we just got through detailing all the good teams in the American League. They're all slightly above mediocre.
Yeah. So it's not like so much that the Red Sox are good. No one's saying that, and no one's saying they were going to win a series. Like, it's just that no one stands out in the American League. Like where you stand right now. There's nothing. It's not like you're playing Philadelphia, right?
Right.
In the first round of the playoffs, like I got to go play Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philadelphia, Milwaukee was great.
Yeah.
The Dodgers.
And the Dodgers have, but I think the Dodgers have just been bored this season, really, and they were unhealthy at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, people were saying that about the Tigers. They were like, "Don't worry about the Tigers; they're just bored." And well, you got so bored, you're going to miss the playoffs. So that series in Boston at the end of the year, this weekend. Now, some of us will be fixated on the Boston College Cal game, which I can't blame you, at 3:30 on Saturday.
Well, some of us have big plans for that. Meeting friends, hitting up tailgates, stuff like that.
I mean, it's a sensation. I mean, Chestnut Hill on a Saturday afternoon.
Oh, it's glorious. You can smell it. Falls in the air.
If you get close enough to the stadium, you can almost hear it.
Well, if you get inside the stadium, you can almost hear the crowd.
Yeah, if you cross... You laugh, but if you cross Beacon Street and you get to that side of Beacon Street, you can hear a rumbling.
Sad.
You get right outside the stadium.
So sad.
You can tell there's a collegiate football game going on.
So really. Say I live Alumni Stadium. No. Let's see how far I live.
By the way,
Alumni
John, put Yoshida bat and clean up again this weekend. 2 for 4 last night.
I know he hits well against Toronto.
Yeah.
Not so much against Detroit. I don't think I have to check his numbers, but against Toronto he's hit well.
Bregman's still having issues.
Yeah.
For last night.
Yeah, I know.
Look, no one's saying that it's a thing. Look, I live 2 miles from Alumni Stadium.
Okay.
You would think that I would hear it. Like, if I was outside walking the dog, that I would hear the game. Like, if I wasn't at the game. I've never heard it in my entire life. I've never heard any noise from it or seen any traffic. I guess if I was going down Beacon to Brookline, it might be a pain in the ass.
You get within a block and a half, there's a lot of traffic.
Now, I have season tickets, which were very affordable, and I will make up if I can sell these Notre Dame tickets, I'll make up the good portion.
I'm not worried about that.
I'm guessing I way more often to hear the crowd roars of the hurling matches going on at the Irish Cultural Center, which is close to my home, way more than you ever hear stuff going on at BC.
Well, I can hear kids playing soccer. That I can hear kids playing soccer and whistles.
That's joyous.
Oh, I don't complain. I never complain. I'm a good neighbor.
You don't call the cops on the kids playing soccer sounds?
If I'm unsure, I might call my guy at the police station just to do a drive-by. I don't want to cause a fuss, but I do want to inconvenience the police as much as possible. You know me always calling those police. Call them every day.
Oh, speaking of monitoring things, supposed to get trash and recycling pickup today.
Oh,
now do you have eyes on that?
Well, I'm going to check the ring right now. See what's going on out there.
Because Hardy lives in Canton and there has been no trash pickup for several months now.
2.5 months.
2.5 months he's gone without trash pickup.
What have you been doing? You've been taking your own garbage to the dump? Is that how it works?
Well, he's been a scab. He's been a rat.
Oh, that's right. He's helped his neighbors.
He's helping his neighbors with the trash.
Right.
I guess that, yeah, if I'm just taking my own, I'm not.
No.
I'm not doing anything wrong. But the fact that I did take my neighbors.
Are you going to miss that now? You going to miss it a little bit?
I didn't mind going to the dump. I never mind going to the dump.
Yeah.
And but it did suck a little bit because they had guys there to unload your stuff for you.
Oh, you didn't want that.
Oh, no, they did. I mean, they did a quote unquote great job because there were always people there. There were a line of cars, anywhere from 3 in front of you to sometimes 10 of people taking their own stuff to the dump. But what I like is to drive all the way back and you drop that, that gate down, and then you stand in the back, even when you don't have to, and hoist it over into the dumpsters, and then you poke around a little bit, see what else is there. Because the good stuff, people are kind enough to leave outside the dumpster and say, hey, I got a vacuum cleaner here that, stopped working for me, but you take it. None of that was going on over the last couple of months. They had people blocking that entrance, and they were taking the stuff out of your truck for you or out of the car and then loading them. Like, well, this takes away 80% of the fun.
What if I told you this? I am friendly with a guy, I've had dinner with him, who's responsible for getting the trash out of the state and into Georgia, where they ultimately dump it.
Ooh,
via the rail.
Oh.
So there are trains that run. The garbage does not stay in Boston. The telling of it to me is that it is loaded onto these dumps are loaded onto trains and they're taken to an area of Georgia.
Like a big landfill.
Like
down
a big
there?
landfill where they get paid to take, like, handsomely to take that trash. They're like, basically, we're a town of trash, and there's subsidies, and I would imagine quite a library. But they're the town that accepts
They've
the
got
trash.
a great performing arts center now as a result of the windfall of cash from being the nation's dumping ground.
Absolutely. But it was interesting to me because I never thought about it. It's amazing how, like, you just do things and you never think about it. Like, just the idea that the trash doesn't stay here, that it's taken somewhere else.
So what's
accepts the trash.
What's his job? Is it like coordinating the trash getting on the train, or does he actually?
I think he runs
along with it.
Oh, I mean, he had an engineer cap on, and
and one of those lanterns. He's always carrying a lantern with him.
Yeah, he was shooing off hobos like the whole dinner. There was all these guys coming up trying to pick food off the table.
That's
He's
part of
shooing
the
them away.
outfit, though. The lantern is necessary. That's a good call.
No, this guy deals with the government. He gets the government contracts. He's quite wealthy. I mean, he's like super rich. I mean, you can imagine. Like, yeah, he's
the
like
carting business.
I mean, he's got a government contract to get rid of all the trash and take it out interstate. It involves the rail systems and stuff. I would imagine it's incredibly lucrative. There's some massaging and things that need to be going on.
Which is all very impressive, and I'm happy for him, but I only want to meet him and talk to him if he's got some hands-on knowledge of the actual moving of the material.
I would imagine there was a time in his life where he was more hands-on, I would imagine.
Okay,
It's
good,
been
good.
a while
As long as he's
since
done it, then I want to talk to him.
Well, he's raced through the ranks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he can do whatever he wants with the trains. He lets me tag them.
Oh.
Yeah, you come in, you see no pockets on all over the trains, all over the country.
FNP.
That's right. All right, so we'll be back with our award-winning email segment in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy on the way on the Sports Hub.
All right, good.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy, and we will be giving away tickets to see the Patriots take on the Panthers, which might not be the worst game of the weekend on Sunday at Gillette Stadium, but for free. I mean, that's not a bad. That's someone's coming out of there 2-2. Let's just put it that way. All right, I feel the need to give some backstory on this. Peter Frates, for people, because time is passing, but Pete Frates was a great athlete. He was a big star baseball player for Boston College. And then he was stricken with ALS, the incredibly debilitating disease. And he didn't go away. He, however he did it, he was able to become a huge face of ALS. And you remember the Ice Bucket Challenge, which became a worldwide phenomenon.
Yep.
That all started here in Boston. Now, Pete, if I may make this all about us, Pete was a big WBCN fan, and we got to do stuff with us. And my son and I were touring the Boston College athletic facilities, and it's all Frates. Like, in seriousness, the baseball team, like, the coach was like, ingrained in our culture is Pete Frates. Like, it was no joke. He didn't know who the hell I was. Like, he was going like, Pete Frates is responsible for all of this. All the seasons are dedicated to Pete Frates. But in fairness to me, I wanted so badly, Hardy, to go, I knew him. I knew him. You didn't know him. I knew him. I wanted to throw that in his face, but I didn't.
Whoa.
But in all seriousness, it's very important to remember, Pete. I do think this is a very big deal, and I worked very closely with his brother on some things, and I don't want this cause to go not without being talked about. So if you're stricken with ALS, it makes it so basically you can't move. Pete would talk with the board and use his eyes. Now, this is not inexpensive. It's $250,000 to $300,000 a year to care with someone with ALS. Now, that's not covered, of course, by insurance. So that's where the Peter Frates ALS Foundation comes in. Their 4th annual Bork Family Foundation Captain's Ball. Ray Bork, a big Kendra Middleton fan. This is no joke. So he wanted to do a Kendra show. Kendra tried to pawn him off on us, but I said, Kendra, you take. If he's a fan of you, you take him. The 4th annual Bork Family Founders Captain's Ball aims to honor and remember the legendary life of Pete Frates. It's going to be going on tomorrow. And all the proceeds from it will, of course, go to these charities. It's a black tie optional affair. But let's get Mike Pitt on from the Pete Frates Foundation. Mike, hello.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
It is going well, and I'm very pleased. I'm sorry it took me forever to get back to you, but I am, if not overwhelmed with emails. I'm quite lazy. But it's always very important to me to be a part of just get the word out about this, because it is quite remarkable. And I was at BC, and it is quite remarkable that Pete was able to, like, transcend any, he wasn't like a big famous person, and then he became this giant icon to this cause. And I think it's very important, especially here in Boston, to remember that.
No, 100%. And Pete, it's needless to say, he was a special guy. And but you bring up BC, and they've been incredible at continuing to honor his legacy and the man that he was. And Coach Aaron Donato and the rest of the staff, Coach Sully over at BC, they do whatever they can. They go out of their way to make sure Pete is at the cornerstone of everything they do. And so, huge thanks to them.
Yeah, I heard the pitch, and the pitch was very much centered around Pete, and I found that to be very heartwarming. Now, PeteFrates.com is the website. What's going on? Tell me about this Captain's Ball.
Yeah, so it's our 4th annual Captain's Ball. Obviously, Pete and Ray got to be very close right after Pete's diagnosis. Little known fact that Pete and Ray actually share a birth date. And growing up, Pete had a poster of Ray above his bed. And when Pete's mom, Nancy, would come in and wish Pete a happy birthday, he'd tap up to the poster and say, "Don't forget the big guy." So from an early age, there was a connection there. And tip of the hat to the Bork family and Ray at continuing to keep his name and legacy going and partnering with us on this. And, it's our annual black tie. It's a fantastic event. We get huge support from the Red Sox, the Bruins, and all the sports teams of Boston, as well as, kind of the local who's who. And it's just a fun night to remember Pete and the families going through it, but also to have fun and get out and get dressed up.
Now, I see it's black tie optional. You just said black tie. This has the making
Because I go
of a real social nightmare. Is it black tie or is it black tie optional?
And I'm glad you asked that, because I was going to ask the same thing. So my family, my kids are out of town. This is unprecedented. I could go to this tomorrow. I would like to go. I want to go. I'm going to go. But the thing is, do I have to prom this thing out, or I have a new suit? Could I wear a suit?
Is it black tie or black tie optional?
You answer, Mike. You tell us.
It is black tie optional. Black tie optional for all of us, not so fashion forward individuals who don't have one hanging up. So yeah, we try to make it as accessible as possible for everybody to show up.
Now, okay, so let me ask on Fred's behalf: would a sport coat with a hoodie attached to it be acceptable to black tie optional event? I know the answer, but Fred won't listen if it's coming from me. So you answer for me.
This
please,
is
Mike.
Silliness, Mike, and it takes away from your cause, quite frankly. And I can't believe Hardy's digging this low to take shots at
Go
me.
ahead and tell him, though. Tell him he can't wear it, Mike.
Being such a good friend of Pete's and the family's, he can absolutely wear it.
See, it's almost like a power play on my part if I put that on.
Exactly.
It's almost
Exactly.
like, what are you going to say to me? Like, I'm a big shot.
You'll get all the attention.
I am going to go, Mike. It's fantastic. I'm really proud of you guys in keeping this going. It is one of the things. It's truly one of the things about living in Boston that I think is very special, is the memory of Pete and all the great things that have this charity has been able to accomplish. When you get a little closer to it, and you're much, 100 times, 1,000 times more close to it than I am. But even just in the limited amount of time that I spent with Pete and have worked with you guys, it is remarkable. And I always am here. We're always here. Anytime you have anything, it's our delight to have you guys on. It's talk about anything you want. PeteFrades.com. The 4th annual Bork Family Foundation Captain's Ball is going to be tomorrow. Now, I am going to go, if only to get on page 6. That's what I want to do here. You know,
Cool.
like a hobnob. But Mike, anything else that the people need to know?
Nope. So yeah, you can get tickets at PeteFrades.com under the events tab. We'll even sell day of, night of. So if you want to show up, get dressed up, dolled up, we'd love to have you. And also, too, kind of cool thing to round out this ice bucket season, as we call it, with the anniversary in August, being the end of September here. So the Boston Sports Museum at TD Bank is unveiling a new Pete Frates exhibit on October 1st in partnership with NWN Carousel, and hugely thankful to them and everybody involved from New Balance and the Sports Museum. So we can continue to remember Pete, his legacy. And like you said, I think Pete really embodied kind of that spirit, that Boston spirit, right? Like when you get hit with some awful things, you don't back down. You come together with your teammates, your family, and you just dig in and push forward. And so I'm glad that we'll be able to remember him at the Sports Museum with that exhibit.
That's fantastic. All right, Mike. Mike Pitt from the Pete Frates Foundation, PeteFrates.com. As always, thank you. You're welcome anytime.
I can't thank you guys enough. Have a great day.
Thanks,
All right,
Mike.
there you go, Mike. I'm making the statement that I'm attending this affair. I will buy my ticket.
Good for you.
Buy your ticket. You have a new suit?
I have a new suit because I was going to wear it to this funeral, but now I'm not going to the funeral.
You have a tie?
I do. I have a button-down shirt. I bought the whole shebang. I knocked it out. I was going to have to go to a funeral. I didn't have a suit that fit. I don't even know if I have a suit. I piecemealed moves so badly. I don't even know what's in that closet.
Yeah.
I had to buy all adult clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want this hat on my head right now, but I'm forced to. We are living such suspended adolescence that I really have to wear a hat to work, or it looks like I have like a red afro. I have straight brown hair, but I have to wear a hat, or else I'm accused of dyeing my hair, which is very frustrating to me, as vain as I am. How dare you accuse me of dyeing my hair? Look at my beard, you fools. But do you think I go in like just Don Johnson style, let people know I'm a big shot?
I don't want you to wear the hoodie sport coat, and I want you to wear a tie.
Oh no, of course I'd wear a suit and a tie to this.
Black suit?
But you're I don't have what a black suit? No, I don't have a black suit. I have a suit.
What color?
It's not pink. It's not seersucker.
Well,
It's
what color suit did you buy for the funeral that you thought you were going to?
Well, I wasn't going to buy a black
red?
suit.
You show up like Steve Harvey? What is this thing?
It is a Steve Harvey shirt, but it's very reserved. A Steve Harvey suit, rather. It's got
it's 5 buttons.
It's got 6, but that was low bar because I could have double naveled it and just got in 2 rows on each side of buttons. No, I have I would call it a non-navy blue, like a darker hue blue suit. Like that's what I'll do at the ball. It's subdued enough for a formal occasion.
Okay.
But it is, I'm not in the business. I have a suit. Mm-hmm. Now, it's a good suit. It's an Italian suit.
Oh.
Well.
You see?
You got new shoes to go with it?
I have Gucci loafers that I could wear. Could I do that?
You have Ferragamos?
I got Maury snakeskins.
You're going to douche it up real good?
Yeah, baby. If it's Maury, it ain't Gator.
You're going no socks?
That's a statement right there.
You know the reason for Gucci, those Gucci shoes is that like it's like kind of like a unitard. Like you just like anything you could just put them on and go shut up. They cost a lot of money.
I'm a huge douchebag, but not enough people know it.
Yeah.
So I need to wear something.
Really, when you're granimaling it, I can be completely honest with you why I bought those. It's because it's like a granimal situation. I was like, I want one pair of shoes that if I have to go out, and they're like, these are the shoes that you can wear for anything. But now I feel like maybe I should go out and buy shoes.
I feel like if you're going to wear a suit and tie, that you should probably have some proper grown-up shoes to go with them.
Well, those are $1,000 shoes.
I don't care how much they cost. Are they serious shoes? They're not serious.
I mean, they're
shoes.
fun. I mean, they're a lot of fun. I wear them every day.
You're going to show me a picture of them?
No, I don't have a picture of my shoes.
What do you have pictures of?
You want to see the picture? I have a camera in my closet, though, to make sure that no one takes my diamonds.
I think you need to go
Again, if you robbed my house, you're coming out of there with very little, even very little that has any sentimental value. There's really nothing there.
They have shoes at the place where you bought your suit?
I bought my suit at, do we have advertisers? Man, I better not say, at an anchor, like, department store.
JCPenney. Okay. They have shoes there. And
Sears, but sure.
Okay. Shush.
Shush.
Yeah,
it's an Oshkosh by gosh.
I would go back there first where you can get the same suit and then get some shoes to go with it. And go back that same place.
All right. Well, you've really thrown a whole.
Well, you
got
to buy a pair of shoes
thing.
between now and tomorrow night. I think you'll be all right.
Oh, yeah, but I just laid out all that money for the suit. And if I can't wear the Gucci loafers with it, I really just wasted $1,000 on shoes that I can't even wear when I go out. So
this is a special occasion.
I understand that.
It's special occasion shoes.
But what happened is I should have said I was going earlier, but everything gets stacked up in my email. And then Mike reached out yesterday and he's like, hey, can I come on? And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, yeah. Just come on. It's very important if you reach out to me to do something. My non-response doesn't mean I don't want to do it. I'm sure you got to poke me a little bit. Remind me. Because I originally told Mike, I said, absolutely, we'll have you on. But then I forgot all about it. So when yesterday he said, "Hey, come on," I go, "Yes."
You just reminded me of something I got tonight, Mr. Hofstra, guest lecturer. I'm doing the same for a class at Michigan State tonight, virtually.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of us pay the airfare and go down there and rub and bring back interns.
Yeah,
like Isaac.
Yeah, when someone makes us. I still don't know why you let her make you do that if you didn't want to.
I only give her 5% of my pre-tax income.
I know.
I needed to do her a favor.
So when she says get on a plane, drive down to or fly down to Hofstra and show up at this thing, you said, "Of course, I owe you that."
That's right. He didn't complain about that at all.
I had put her. I didn't complain about it so much as I was baffled by it, as I still am. I put her through the ringer a little bit during that year.
Fair.
So
that's fair.
I felt like, and I like her a lot. It's Heather Cohen, my agent. I like her a lot. So I was like, she was really hell-bent on me doing this Hofstra thing, so I did it. And I was there with all the great political AM radio talkers with ponytails and guns.
We got a legendary intern out of it.
Hey there.
It's funny because, like, being in that, you see the people that are talking about politics for a living, and you're like, well, you're all psychos. You all have ponytails and guns. Like I wouldn't let you date my daughter.
Yeah.
Let alone inform me on what's going on in the world.
There's only one guy who does political radio that won't hear for it. His name is Gary Tangway.
Yeah. Politics, schmolitics. I'm campaigning on the big rack agenda.
Yeah, hey, here and here every night. We're not doing that. Not doing any of that stuff.
No, we're gonna give you erotic tales of fiction. Yeah. Hooray! All right, we will be back in just a moment as we steer this ship into its place. But let me do this. Caller number 10 in the contest line, 617-931-0985. You'll score a pair of tickets to see the Patriots take on the Panthers this Sunday at Gillette Stadium. That should be very exciting. We will be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius.
from the show.
No. Off focus. Completely off focus.
It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
That's like advertising the plate the sandwich is on.
Too much Hardy in that rejoin for you?
It's not even so much too much Hardy. It's not enough Fred.
It's no Fred.
Yeah, zero.
Well, at the
Fred.
end, they throw me in there. There's no John, which tracks, but, I mean...
Come on.
All right.
I had no idea Sammy Hagar has been so busy.
That's funny, because someone's not listening to Eddie Trunk, who, if you were listening to Eddie Trunk, you would know he's playing with Joe Satriani.
Yeah. You still got Michael Anthony on bass. Right?
Yeah, he's in and out. But that's a good try.
All right, so...
Tell me I'm wrong. Come on.
I'm just kidding.
After a very successful run of shows back in the spring, he recently added more dates to his Best of All Worlds residency in Las Vegas. He's at the Dolby Live at Park MGM for 2 more stretches starting in March. This follows up his wildly successful Best of All Worlds tour, which saw the Hagars sell out amphitheaters last summer. Before he returns to Las Vegas, though, Sammy has something else cooking, and he dropped a video to tell the world. So I'm going to play this for you. See if you can determine what's going on based on this video. Ryan, are we ready? Is it in there? I got it? Okay, good. Here it is.
Just start shooting. Ready? Okay, here we are. 3 best singers in rock and roll. And you say, what are those 3 guys doing?
Wait.
Well, it's hard to say. Well, you're just getting started.
What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing?
It's hard to say. We're figuring it out. We're trying to figure out what we're doing.
You know, Sammy's got that Cabo Wabo vibe, you know?
Yeah.
That multi-million-dollar tequila thing operation he's got with his agent.
So that's the entire video. That's the big reveal.
Okay.
Who are the 3 best singers in rock and roll, which they laugh at? Obviously, number 1 is Sammy Hagar. Who else is there with him? Announcing, in quotes, their new collaboration.
Well, it can't be Stephen Pearcy because he's in Stephen Pearcy's Rat right now, which is touring. It's no one from Trickster, as they were just in Providence, or Worcester, rather, and Eddie Trunk was there. Okay, it's Joe Elliott's got his hands full. I'm running out of guys. Bruce Dickinson just sang the national anthem in Pittsburgh. Go ahead.
Is Diamond Dave one of them?
No. They've already toured that.
No, I know they hate each other, but the way you were phrasing it.
They toured, and I guess Sammy blew him off the stage. But one of the problems with Sammy's solo shows apparently is he signs autographs during the show. So, like, he'll put the mic down and just during songs, signing things for people. Because it's a whole Cabo Wabo vibe. You wouldn't get it.
Of course.
All right, I give up. I'm
One
sad
of
to say
them's
I don't
Canadian.
know. Oh, Sebastian Bach?
Nope.
Was someone from Triumph?
You could include Vinny Appice in that as well.
Someone from Helix? I don't know.
The video is Sammy Hagar with Chad Kroeger of Nickelback. And Tommy Lee, who you would think would not be identified as one of the best singers in rock and roll, but apparently there was some more clarity added when Anthrax drummer Charlie
Belladante.
Benante.
Oh, Benante, sorry. Belladante is the singer, right?
He shared a photo with Sammy Hagar and Chad Kroeger, appeared to be in the recording studio. And he says, when you get a call to come over and play drums on a new song that these 2 are doing, you drop whatever it is and go.
Tommy's relationship with that Instagram lady didn't work out, strangely enough. He was drinking too much. She got into it without the knowledge of that. Did you hear about the foibles of the Tommy Lee?
Nope.
He's with this super hot Instagram chick.
Okay.
And then they were estranged because he was drinking too much. And on both sides, I got to think, I can see how you didn't see any of this coming.
And with that, I left.
That's right, Eddie. That's when you were you were big timed by who was he big timed by in that one?
Gene Simmons.
Oh, Gene Simmons. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So it's like a super group.
Yeah, they're doing a super group. All right, finally.
New tunes. That's all I'm asking for.
Adam 12 put this in here for us. I can only imagine. Boston to open series of what atop cities' public libraries. Now, this is a 12-on-12 story. So Boston is opening what on top of cities' public libraries?
Well, it certainly is. Its pronouns are we got to be very careful with. What is it is about a quilting?
No. Affordable housing going atop the city's public libraries. 12 put this in here. You said set to begin development in Chinatown. An affordable housing complex will perch atop a branch of the Boston Public Library system.
Do you want to hear something? And this is in real life. I've been asking Adam what I should donate money to, what charities I should donate money to. And I asked him, he's very involved with autism charities. And I said, what autism charity? Because I hear him talk about the autism charities and how they struggle to get people. I said, I want to help. I really do. Sincerely, this was off the air. I was not going to mention this on the air, but you just brought up charities. And Adam said, what autism charity should I donate to? He goes, I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
Well, you got to think about it?
Yeah, because I want to give you one. There's a few, but I want to give you one that I think will make the most impact. I got to do a little research and see who's doing what right now.
You'd think you'd have that information right off the top of your head.
I was kind of going, I could donate to the charity you work with, but I don't know if you guys take donations.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, since you just phrased it that way, no, you can't donate to the Woburn CPAC yet. You'll be able to eventually with what we're working on. But you just gave me the one, and I'll tell you right now, it's the Federation for Children with Special Needs here in Massachusetts. They do great work. Federation for Children with Special Needs, FCSN.
All right,
I work with them as well.
Because my new thing is charitable Friday.
Love it.
Wow, it's gonna be my new identity.
That's right.
Freddie, deep pockets.
As long as you are dressed
Oh, well, I give
appropriately.
tens of thousands. Just say don't worry about money for a couple years.
Yeah.
Because these are heavy donations. Since the divorce, I'm swimming in it. So, look. No, but you do your taxes, and then you're like, oh, Jesus. I'm paying all this money for garbage. I should be dictating where my money goes. And that's what I felt like.
That's right.
And so I said, I'm not giving enough to charity. This is off-the-air conversation, but might as well make myself look good. I thought, but I did. I was like, I said, who would know better than Adam? Because he's so involved and so passionate about these charities. But there was no response.
Maybe we'll get your charitable giving statement there into a rejoin here to make up for that last one that barely mentioned you.
Capital idea.
Riley.
Let's swing the people to my side. Let's get it that way. Let's win the favor of the public. All right, that'll do it for us. Everyone have a wonderful day. Bye.